Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. I appreciate it. It's been a while, man. Y'all know I've been up in Metro Manila. Shout out to the NTZ crew. That's Jacob Tanjay. I know Michael Beach Your Life will be back on her. I think he's back at his post again. Shout out to all of my fourth quarter members. What's up, Jeffrey Tanner? He said, happy birthday, Cal. What's up, Sheldon? He said, happy birthday, Unc. And thank y'all, man. I'm grateful to still be alive, man. 63, man, it's a blessing. What's up, 6'9"? What's up, Ray? I love LaChine, all my fourth quarter members. I got to shout y'all out. Even my ex-fourth quarter members, that's W Secrets of Success.
I'll finish now.
That's too late. All my old heads, what's up, Doubtful Genius? I see Eric Terry on here, man. Thank you for your hospitality, man, in East Bay. He's the one that invited us up, him and his family, man. We had a great time. The kids didn't even want to come back home. I'm sorry. What's up? Make it look easy. I appreciate y'all, man. Any new viewers or subscribers, welcome. He said over here in Thailand this week, oh, man. I got to let the dust settle, man. I went in Metro Manila. I spent more than $1,000. I told y'all in that video I spent $1,000. I spent more than that. Just on the tickets alone, the two-go round trip was over 42,000 pesos. But I don't regret it, man. What's up, Gregory? I don't regret it at all. Anybody catch this on replay? Peso is 61.63. They're talking 65. That's what I said. Some guy said 69. I don't know about that, but I guess if the war continues to go on, anything's liable to happen because I saw where the United States struck Iran again. The first time it was in self-defense, and now they're saying self-defense again. Guys, it got ridiculous, man. I mean, we're living in an upside-down world, man. That's not self-defense. Then when Iran strikes back, you know, they need to come to an agreement, man. I'm all about peace. Leave those people alone over there. You know. It's just a shame, man. Everybody has to pay for it. Hey, Doubtful Genius, thank you for that super sticker. Yeah, the dollar's strong. And see, people are crazy. They say, oh, yeah, but the Philippines are going to suffer. No, it's not. When people from England and the UK come to America and their money is worth more than the dollar, it doesn't affect you at all. Not one bit. So stop with that, guys. Okay? But we always have a topic. Today's topic is men are waking up to the BS, to the bullshit. But there's lots of work to be done. We can't help everybody. A lot of men are waking up, but we can't help everybody. P.T. Barnum said that. I misquoted him. He said, there's a sucker born every minute. That's what he said. If he actually said that. Whoever said it is telling the truth. But the word is out. There's no more victim mentality, guys. You come over here and you lose your life savings or you give away all your money, that's on you. Because the word is out. We put it out. Our message is getting out there. It's getting through to some people. And that's bad news for Filipino scammers. I'm not talking about all Filipinos. I'm talking about the women on these dating sites who are trying to scam us, who are trying to hustle us. Well, we're all being hustled. I hate to tell you that. We're all being hustled. If you got a Filipino girlfriend and you met her online, you're being hustled. But remember, we're Bill Withers. If you think you're hustling me, imagine what I'm doing. But anyway, we're going to talk about anything y'all want to talk about. It's your live stream, but yeah, no, I always like to talk about, videos I've made, in between live streams. And the one, he financed his LDR with a second job. And y'all went all in on this young guy, knowing that most of you guys watching this are in LDRs. This young guy's a stand-up guy. I was just saying that he said, I'm going to get a second job. He's 24. I knew when he said that, I knew exactly why he was doing that. Because when you get involved in these, I wrote it down, these unreasonable, illogical, entirely ridiculous and expensive long-distance relationships, it's going to cost you. Okay, it goes against common sense. It goes against all common sense when you do that. Okay, and you deserve whatever you get, man. Okay, it's clearly crazy. It's the epitome of ignorance and desperation. I'm not going to do it. If you want to do it, you can go ahead. It's your life. What's up, Ray? He said, unfortunately, I don't see an agreement coming anytime soon, especially as long as we are bending the knee to another country. Yeah, that's right, man. It's been happening for a long time, but it's so clear now that, Israel and the Zionists are controlling, our foreign policy. But I don't want to get into that today. It's my birthday, man. I want to be happy. I'm so grateful, man, to be alive. I'm so thankful to be alive. Life is sacred, man, when you get 63. I've stopped watching it because they're going to do whatever they're going to do anyway. But universal law is universal law. They're going to pay one way or the other. It may go down through generations, but they'll pay. What's up, Thomas? I appreciate y'all. Yeah, but these LDRs, man, is ludicrous. If you're in an LDR right now, just blow your damn brains out because you're a damn fool. This ain't no typical LDR. She lives 8,000 miles away. They're going to nickel and dime your stupid ass to death. It's always going to be something. And you're not going to be there to be able to verify it. Okay? Like, how much damn milk is that baby drinking? You know what I'm saying? How many times is your father going to die? And your grandmother going to go into the damn hospital? It's always something, man. They be spending money they don't have because it's your money. But that's not even the only reason. He said, leave the U.S. alone, big bro. We just want the strait open and free. Oh, never mind that. It was open and free before we attacked in the first place. Never mind that. Yeah. Y'all see the plan that they had. They were going to put, what's his name? The president that was talking all crazy about Israel, blowing Israel off the face of the map and all that, man. Israel is the one playing three-dimensional chess, not Trump. Ahmadinejad, remember him? He was saying all that stuff, edging the United States and Israel to attack Iran because they want to put him in power. He's working for Israel. Like, damn. Israel is on some crazy shit, man. But we ain't going to talk about that today. He said, yeah, we might as well get the K1. It'll probably come out cheaper. Thank you. I already gave that information to him, but I told him, I said, only if she's the right one. Give it a little time. Okay, but they're going to nickel and dime you to death, man. You're going to have to get a second job. He's smart. He saw it early. Like, I'm going to have to get another damn job. I can't, and he's got a great job right now. I'm talking about a great job. Not a good job. But it takes two great jobs to finance these LDRs. But y'all won't listen. Some people are listening. Leave that shit alone, man. Wait till you can come over here and be here for good or bring her there for good. But you can't win, man. It's a no-win situation for you. It's a win-win for her. She's got a job now. You. Go in my library. You'll see I made a video years ago. The best part-time job here is to get in a relationship with a gullible foreigner. Because they're going to give you millions of pesos. Far more than what the government's giving you over here. It's the best paying job. Hey, thanks, Ronan Travelers. He said, this is exactly right, Cal. Happy birthday. Yeah, men are waking up, man, but we can't help everybody. He's got a good channel. He's trying to help us. But we're not listening. What's up, Joseph, man? Thank you, man, for coming to the meet and greet. Everybody that came, but he made a special effort. He came from Angeles City. You can catch the bus, that Genesis bus, from Angeles City at the SM Mall, and it'll take you, I believe, which terminal is it? Is it Terminal 3 that it'll take you to in Manila? I forgot how much it costs. Me and Merlin rode it, and really is a nice bus. One of the nicest buses I've ever rode on in the Philippines. What's up, ISG Horn? But yeah, get out of them long distance relationships, guys. Yeah. How much milk is that damn baby drinking? How many diapers is the damn wearing? You know, got a 3-piece suit made out of diapers. All the diapers they going through. But I made another video, you know, and basically was talking about a recipe for disaster. When we following the followers, guys, you know, people, I made all the mistakes that I talk about. So why would you want to come over here and do the exact same, make the exact same mistakes I made, and then say, oh, Sunshine Shoulders, you made them. See, this is what we're doing. Doing the same things everybody else is doing, thinking we're going to do it better. Expecting different results. That's insanity. That's what that is, guys. A lot of these guys y'all following, see, y'all don't know it. I know. I'm over here. They don't know what they're doing. They're stumbling all over themselves. Come over here. That's the only way you're going to figure it out. It's the blind leading the blind. What's up, John? He said, I miss you going live. Hey, I ain't forgot about you either, Sheldon, man. Hit me up on WhatsApp. He said, people barbecued that young man. Yeah, but if they only knew this guy, he's sharp, man, and he comes from a good family. But he's got a great job, you know, but he knows that it's going to cost him. And now she's getting ready to have his baby. It's grown men, it's men in their 50s that don't realize what he's already realized. He's a stand-up guy. But here's how they get you. What times he travels. She wanted an air conditioner. Okay, so he buys the air conditioner. Then, oh, you got to pay somebody to put it in. Okay, I'll pay somebody to put it in. Oh, now we need an electrical box. Instead of just saying, okay, we need all these three together. Every time you send money, it costs you. The remittance places that get you on the front end and the back end. Okay? It's going to cost you, guys. I've been through it, but I figured it out a long time ago. I said, yeah. The longest I've ever did it was about 2 months. Because even when I was waiting all that long nightmare of a K-1 visa I did, I started dating a woman from Cuba. I'm like, well, hell, it's not my fault. You're messing up. But I'm not going to do a long distance relationship. A long distance ripoff. That's what it is. Okay? Well, I forgot to say, Rob Bass died, man. If y'all grew up around the time I did, in the 80s, It Takes Two, it's really about the only song that really cracked the door open for him, I'm thinking. They played that song to death. No pun intended, but yeah, he died. I think he's in his 50s. They didn't say how he died. But it takes two to make a thing go right. I mean, they played that song, man, for decades. Hey, Juice, thanks for that super chat, man. Say happy birthday, Cal. Thanks for the valuable and entertaining content, man. I appreciate it, brother. He said, I understand what you mean, Cal, but, now see, here he is. He's getting ready to justify it. But to them, the LDR appears to fulfill the need for love and belonging. Well, you said it right there. It appears to fulfill. Everything's not what it appears to be. You're not fulfilling nothing but her bank account. Okay? Remember the taste, touch, and smell test. Lex will. If you can't taste it, touch it, okay, and smell it, it's not real. You know, your relationship's in the cloud. That's what that is. It's not real. No, you can't justify it, guys. Yeah, I said funny how the needs come one at a time. They're gonna get you, man. They nickel and dime you to death. You'll be like, but damn. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do too. But you know, you gotta wait till the baby's here because he knew that already. He said, can you do a DNA test before the baby's born? I said, yeah, probably will cost you a fortune. Just wait. But there's probably a good chance that it is his baby. Oh, okay, cancer. Yeah. He said, yeah, they used to be a party starter. Hey, thanks, Rag Jam Rock, man. It is, man. You know, a lot of people are celebrating their birthday today, too. Marilyn didn't even remember talking about she thought today was the 27th. Well, I remembered. That's all that's important. Yeah, I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, joy and pain. I forgot. We put up my email. He said, Sunshine, I'd really like to talk to you. I have some questions. I appreciate some advice from you. Have a hard choice. Yeah. You know, we can give y'all suggestions, man, but it's hard to beat the tune up. Okay, let's just be honest about it. I'm nothing against the pussy, okay? What's up, Captain Trucker? I've been watching your videos about your house, man. He said 63 years young with the vitality of a 35-year-old. Happy birthday, Mr. Rhodes. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm going to the gym today. I'm going to put on the boxing gloves today. It's been a week, man. Hey, W Secrets of Success. Thanks for that super chat. He said, happy birthday, Cal. Buying your health checks, good DNA, eating right, working out, and one release every 3 to 5 days. That should keep you sound another decade or two, pimping. Yeah, man, but, you know, Merlin, because I said, yeah, you didn't even remember my birthday today. And here's what Merlin said. Every day's your birthday. What's up, Angelo? He said, my son got into boxing recently. He's doing well. It's a good exercise, man. Y'all know that, man, those boxers are in some of the greatest shape. Some of the best shape. Okay? He said, amazes me on how these simps justify sending money to a woman they never met in person. Yeah, but even after you meet, guys, remember it's a script. Okay, I'm going to tell you, if you don't think the script is real, let me give you another example. Y'all see, we took Marilyn's mother, we took Lola with us on the trip, right? Well, she's got such a great routine around here, a script, okay? When we took her out of her environment around here, she was lost, man. She was real. I really, you know, I was like, damn, I made a mistake. I should have left Lola at home because she really had second thoughts. Merlin said the day that we were getting ready to leave, she said, did Calvin really buy my ticket? Because she really didn't want to go. But when we tore up her script, she didn't know what to do. And it's what you should do. When you get over here, you tear up that script, man. It's a script, guys. I mean, I'm the only one that's going to tell you. I'm the only one told you. But it's obvious. So if you tear up the script, if you start doing things that she don't expect that you're going to do, it might save you some money, man. It may save you some time and some heartache. But Lola was, man, was out of her routine, man. Lola looked sad the whole time we was there. I felt guilty. She's happy now, boy. She's back in her office over there, going around doing everything, feeding the dog, cleaning outside. But when I took her out of here, man, so the script, that's part of the script. Sending money. You meet her? Oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, fiance, they call her. Remember the young guy was on here calling the girl the fiance. You come over here to see her. You have the best 2 weeks of your life. You go back, you start sending money. That's your assignment. Okay? All right, Derek. Yeah, but you know how it is, man. Every day you wake up, like he said, is a blessing, man. It really is. He said she didn't lie. Yeah, every day's my birthday. But that's just an excuse because she forgot. Somebody she thought it was the 27th. Well, you won't forget later on. When your throat is sore, you'll know it's my birthday. He said, yeah, I'm lucky or I didn't get unlucky, that my girlfriend never asked me for money, neither did her family. But you spent plenty of money. You were spending a lot of money on their rent. This is what y'all don't understand. They don't have to ask you for money because your girlfriend is smart. Any smart girlfriend will never ask you for money. You know why? Because they know that's a red flag. They know their reputation, guys. They're not going to ask you for money. Stop saying that. Angelo, you know better. You've been following me for a long time. Look how much money you spent. So you're telling me she bought her own ticket to Canada? Bullshit. She's living rent-free right now in your place. You spending. I'm not picking on you, but come on, man. You know better. They know that you're going to spend. All the times y'all was going out all them fancy restaurants and stuff, all those trips y'all were taking when you were there for 16 or 18 months, you paid for that. All those plane tickets. Come on, Angelo, you smarter than that. You one of the smartest guys that follow me, certainly when it comes to money. So because a woman doesn't ask you for money, doesn't separate her, it makes her smart, though. Okay? Because the minute that they start asking for money, you're going to run. If you're smart. Hey, that's Steve for help. Thanks for that super chat. He said, first, happy birthday. Second, the script is 1,000% real. Thank you. He says, I am 1.7 million pesos down, and when I broke the script, the relationship ended and she was back on Cupid the next hour. No joke, we are not special. And man, I'm so glad you said this. Okay? But here's the thing. Guys don't believe it. They're different. SD for help. They're the exception. I even made a video about that. I'm sick of these guys who claim that they're the exception. Oh, my girlfriend didn't ever ask me for money. She really loves me. And all the other bullshit they say. Break that script. Say no enough times. And you're going to see the real her is going to come out. He said later on, yeah. You're going to remember, we're going to know it's my birthday. I ain't have to remind you. He said, Merlin and the kids looked like they had a great time. They really did. You know, Merlin used to live in Manila years ago. I mean, I think 2004. It's been over 20 years. And the city just does something to people. The kids really didn't want to go. They had so much fun. The last mall we went to, well, we went to Mall of Asia, but we went to the Venice Grand Canal Mall. We took them to the trampoline, jumping. See, they never did that. They don't have that here. Roller skating. They were riding the roller coaster, the carousel. Just all the high-rise buildings and gigantic malls. They're not used to seeing that. It's like they were in a whole other world. Yeah, he said, yeah. Laugh my ass off. She'll remember later. Yeah. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Yeah, he said, yeah, we all spend money. Yeah. Because Angelo is the only guy I've ever seen in all my years. And you want to know about a budget? This guy really has a budget. He has an app on his phone. He tracks every peso he spent over here. And then at the end of his 16 months, he can show you exactly how much money per month he was spending. And according to him, he was spending the exact same amount of money he was in Canada. Because he wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna, what's the word I want to use? He was gonna have the same lifestyle over here as he had in Canada. No, I'm serious. Okay? He said, yeah, I didn't get all the excuses. Yeah. Well, those are the smart ones, man. Yeah, this is true right here. These are the smart ones, though. They'll let you know in a roundabout way. But they're never gonna just straight out. If your woman is straight out asking you for money, me and Marilyn's been together 7 years. She's never just said, "Hey, can you send me some money for this or that?" Although I've spent millions, because she's smart, she knows she doesn't have to ask. Remember, they've got everything but money. They got loving families. They got friends. They got it all. But they ain't got no money. Yeah, this is true. He said, my girlfriend is different. Yeah. What's up, Swiss Garrett? Hey, thank you. That's what Roger says all the time. Who is this? Hey, what's that? Oh, that's the, hun. Oh, that's the electric bill. I want to see this thing. I saw one on Facebook when I was in Manila. It went from 6,000 to 21,000. I hope that's not the case today. But they told us. Hey, Prince Hakeem, thanks for that super chat. He said, happy birthday, young man. Keep up the great work over there. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I just really be trying to show you guys what's possible. And it don't come without some sacrifice. It certainly don't come for free. I could go home every few months or whatever, but I think I would be defeating the purpose. I'm one of the guys, I stay over here all the time. It's a difference, man. If you going home every so many months, that's just your choice. Remember, there's different ways to do it. You don't have to do the way I do it. Some guys come over here for 3 months and 9 months at home. 6 and 6. 8 and 4 or whatever it is. But I'm a full-time expat. He said, I introduced myself, a.k.a. first name is Hell and last name is No. That's right, Mr. Hell No at your service. Yeah, somebody put in the comments, it's hard to say no, though, once you get into that real relationship. Especially when the requests aren't unreasonable. See, this is the electric bill we're getting. W Secrets of Success. I can't say no to that. Okay? We're getting, I don't know what this guy's doing. Just get my electric bill. We're giving away $10,000 worth of free gasoline today. And then for the first 5 people who see me in person, and say happy birthday, Sunshine Shoulders, I'm giving them 500. Shout out to Jeffrey Tatter. Shout out to Leland, LT. But what better way to spend your birthday than to help other people? I just like to do stuff like that, man. You know, y'all be shocked. 200, I'm giving 50 people 200 pesos worth of free gasoline. And you'll say, Cal, that's nothing. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a whole lot. He said, not too much, brother. Glad to see you enjoying your birthday and being a blessing to others, man. Yeah, thank you, man. When you help other people, you help yourself. That's not my invention. That's universal law, guys. I guarantee you it's coming back, man. But people don't believe it. When I first got sober, a guy who's now a real close friend, we got sober at the same time. He got sober May the 6th, 1998. I was May the 13th. We didn't even know each other, but we're walking to a meeting, and we missed lunch. And a friend of his gave him $5, man. This is in 1998. And don't you know he gave me $2.50 of it? He took me to McDonald's and bought me lunch. I never forgot that. I'm like, wow. Hey, ISG Horn, thanks for that super chat. He said, I've got 4 trips to Thailand, 4 to the Philippines, and numerous trips all over Latin and South America. I've had a passport. What's this? You finished? Okay. He said, I've had a passport since 1983 when I joined the Army. I've never considered an LDR in any country. Because you're one of the smart guys. You're one of the smartest guys. Look, man. No phone. LDRs are for suckers. What is it? Oh, it ain't bad. It's the same as last month. 10,000. You know, that's about as hot as it is right now. What y'all say? It's hotter than chicken grease. Fish grease over here. Right? I'm talking about for real. I walked up to the filling station today to give out that gas. When I came back, man, I was full of sweat. So for 10,000, but I was gone. Remember, I was gone for a week. Well, we were gone for 10 days. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. He said, funny story. The first time I sent money to myself was 120,000 pesos. When I went to pick it up at the mall, they almost flipped at the amount and said they don't carry that much cash. Yeah, oops. Man, you are bold, man. I think the most I've ever sent me, I want to say 10,000, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would be scared to go pick up that kind of money, but you went to the right place. I'd have to go to the mall because that is one of the best places to pick up a substantial amount of money because people watch you, man. And then every place I've ever been, when you go to M Lawyer, Palawan, all those places, you know, the standalone places, there's people outside waiting and asking you for money. You got to be real careful. Or the bank. They don't stand in front of the bank because the bank's got those guards. But when you go to pick up money, you got to be real careful, man. Don't go to the same place all the time. He said my electric bill this month, Calvin, was an increase. Wow, 12,000 pesos. Okay, up from 10,000. About 1,300 pesos this month. 7,000 was in Texas. What do you mean? I'm satisfied. He says not the birthday present. You know, 10,000, I was expecting 17 or 20 or something like that, to be honest. Because they already warned us it was going up. Okay. But see, this is the thing, Derek. It's not. It's you know, the return of investment, it takes you years to get your money back. Eventually you will. But it's too expensive for me, for my pockets right now, to get the solar system that I really need. Because there's different levels to that solar thing. They've got solar systems, believe it or not, that you can buy on Shopee. I got a friend of mine who's got one. He only paid like, believe it or not, like $300 or something. And when he has a brownout, he said it does his lights, and he might have said his refrigerator. But then you got to go way up. Say, I'm not going to do anything over here. It would take me, years to get it back. Same with a generator. We just don't have enough brownouts. Now, Jeffrey Tatter, his girlfriend, and here's Jeffrey Tatter right here. He said, you're touching 50 families in a day. Who could say they do that? Man, I do it because people help me, Jeffrey. You know that. You know we've been helping people, man, ever since you've been following me. But people don't look at it like that. They don't even think to help people. And they say, well, why do you talk about it? Because this is the Philippines. Guys, another thing I need to tell you. When you see somebody and they making a video about giving away free gas on money and stuff, this is the Filipino way. It's not the Western way. Look up Willie Revillame. Look up Vic Soto, Jessica Soho, Rafi Tufo. These people give away money, in public. That's how they became famous. Sharing their blessings. And Filipinos like to see that. It's not, I'll do it in secret. Yeah, you can do. I do a lot in secret. Most of the money I give away is in secret. But when we do gas giveaways, the spin wheel, you do that because they like to see that, guys. Okay? What's up, Don? He said, I just got back from the V on really bad shooting by Park Hill last weekend. Yeah, other than that, it's a good time. I saw a couple of drunk driving accidents, man. A couple of young girls were killed, and then another young one was killed. Some man was drunk on Memorial Day. Remember when we drink, we think we can drive better. And he done ran into another truck and then veered off and hit 4 people at the bus stop. Killed one lady. She's just sitting there waiting on the bus. And ended up dead. Yeah, this is good advice. He said, if you have a Philippine bank account, don't close it. If you leave the country, it's good to keep it because it's hard to get one in the first place. Yeah, I still fund it a bit. That's great advice. Because it is hard to get one. If you go to, that's one advantage, though, about living in a small city like this. People know you. And so when I went to open up my account, they still put me through the ringer, but they approved it. Yeah, they approved it. It's not like you go to Cebu or Manila. Oh, man. You'd be lucky to get an account. Unless you got SRV or something like that. If you're a tourist, you can get one. They passed a law years ago where you can get a bank account over here. Excuse me. But he's right. Yeah, keep it. He said, bro, honestly, I've been giving more lately and it feels good. And I hear that slogan every time. He said, when you help other people, you help yourself. Yeah, that feeling is amazing. It's worth the money. Yeah, because just like Jeffrey Tatter said, we're helping 50 families. Well, really 55. That's just today. There's no telling how much money I give away every month. Probably, I'm going to say 20,000 pesos a month. That y'all never see. It's coming out of my pocket. People stopped funding me a long time ago. Because y'all listen to all these haters and stuff like that. I don't need your money, man. I was brought up better than that. I'm not a scammer. But they label everybody like, are there some vloggers out here hustling, meaning, making videos for money? But I'm not one of them. I really make videos that I want them to be entertaining and informative. Motivational, inspirational, but most of the time, educational, guys. But are there hustlers? Yeah, but I'm not one of them. Don't put me in there with everybody else. That's what they think. Oh, yeah, that's the reason he's making those videos. No, you're a damn lie. I'm really trying to help people if you listen. He said, did Marilyn give you your birthday present? Yeah, she will later. She don't even know it's my birthday. She claims she don't. He says, all my boys that went to the Philippines didn't use condoms. Why, Calvin? There ain't other foreign countries and the women saying no condom. That's weird to me. They don't know them girls. Yeah, but see, everything is weird when you come over here and start dealing with relationships. There's so much more to the Philippines than relationships, but no man in his right mind is going to listen to that initially. I wrote it down here. You think I'm playing? I hope y'all can see this. I said, it's the last thing I wrote down. I put, it's too much emphasis and we put too much faith in women here. And you're certainly putting too much faith in a woman when you drop your damn drawers and go up in a raw like that. Certainly, okay, Marilyn showed me an article the last day we were in Manila about AIDS is rampant. They're having an AIDS emergency in Cebu, and it was another city. Cebu and somewhere else she showed me. That they don't tell you. Most of the cases are young men. But, you know, a lot of these young men are hustlers. They'll go and fool with the gay and then have a girlfriend at home. And then you end up fooling with the girlfriend. But yeah, it's an AIDS emergency. And I mean, it's so many cases that the healthcare system can't handle it. But y'all not listening. It's not going to happen to me. I'm different. Okay? There's only one guy that I know, and we still communicate in emails just about every day. He's the only one I've ever known who sends the girl to the doctor before he meets her or does anything with her. One out of the thousands and thousands of men that I've ever met over here. He's the only one that does that. And he has no shame. He's not, oh, the girl's going to get angry with me. So what? Get angry. You know, by me and Marilyn being together for so long, and I'm not justifying it because I didn't do it. But she goes to the doctor all the time, but it was not the first time we was together. You know. Hey, Dame Dash Films, thanks for that super chat. He said, I was at the Mall of Asia last night and saw damn pieces everywhere. Man, what are you talking about? We went to the Festival Super Mall in Alabang. I'm going to be honest with you. I say this all the time and I don't know why. I just don't get around enough, but I probably saw one of the finest Filipino women I've ever seen. I mean, she was built. Had a little waist. Had short hair like the hair. Oh my God. And she was by herself, you know, and I'm like, this is crazy. He says, yeah, I'd love to see Cal do a collab with H-Bachelor. Cool, laughed my ass off. He's okay, man, but you know, I don't really know those guys. Okay. But he's kind of like a dry hater sometimes, the stuff he says. He makes those lists and he might have me on there, right? You know, but he's okay. I met him before at the meet and greet, the day before the meet and greet or the morning of the meet and greet. I think it was the day before. We were at the T-Backs where I had it and he was there. But it's before his channel, you know, hit it big. But no, you won't see. Because these guys, man, you don't know how they really feel about you. You know, I don't want to sit up there and be doing a collab with somebody who don't like me or said some crazy shit about me that I don't know because I don't watch him. But he's okay. You know what I'm saying? Those guys really are. The only thing I don't like that he does, and it's funny because Jeffrey Childs says, I'll fund you more today just because, LOL. He tries to tell grown men, I don't support these guys. And what they don't send money to, you know, vloggers and this and that. Okay, I mean, it's your choice to do it or not. But the only reason he's doing that is because nobody's supporting him. He's not helping anybody. I got nothing going on like that. But I don't see why people do that. You know, see, he's like a borderline troll vlogger. He's trying to appease the trolls because he's afraid of them. So he makes videos like that and says stuff like that. Trolls can kiss my ass. Okay? They really can. You know, it takes a coward. What type of man would sit around and make videos about other grown men? Yeah, they can kiss my ass. Hey, I see. Thanks for that super sticker. I appreciate it. Yeah, now this is what I was heard. Somebody told me about this. Does this work though? He said best HIV prevention is get on PrEP. I just wrap it up, man. Just wrap it up, guys, okay? But if you want to talk about, that's one of the reasons, because I got down here Metro Manila, you know, I didn't know what I didn't know about it, man. That's why I don't talk about it, because I've never lived up there. All I knew about Manila was the same things that y'all do, the traffic, and that was enough to deter me, but now, shit. I'd move to Metro Manila in a heartbeat. Metro Manila, if you coming from the West, certainly America, you ain't gonna have no complaints up there. It's like being at home. I'm sorry, guys. You know, it ain't too much different. When them guys get to talking about the infrastructure and all of that, you go up in the Philippines, these cities, man, it's no different than the cities in these other places. I'm sorry, man. I done been to Bangkok. Now, they don't have the BTS and all that. It's not as modern, but it's just as fancy. Hey, Ronan Travels, thanks for that super chat. He said, salute, Cal. Happy birthday. My brother's here. A little something for the gas. Yay, thank you, man, for the gas giveaway. See, I did half of it this morning, and then for the people who are working, I'm going to do the other half at 5 p.m. Because if I did it all this morning, it wouldn't be fair because those people at work, I don't tell them where I'm going to be. I just show up and I tell the gas attendant, look, the next 25 people get 200 pesos each. And I always give the workers 200 each because they got to sit there and count the people, because if you go over, that's what they got to pay for. And I don't want them to go over. What's up, crazy black American? And this guy just came from there. This guy traveled. He's smart because, remember I tell you, between America and the Philippines, there's so many other places. He goes to all them other places. They just came back from Cartagena. I told him I went to Cartagena, but man, that was decades ago. He said it's still off the chain. He said, salute Big Bro Cal and Sunshine Show's community. He said, and salute to the chickas in Cartagena. He said, they hot. Yeah. Can't wait to return to Colombia. Yeah, there's a lot of places, man, that are in between America and the Philippines. So when you come over here, man, you got to be prepared. When you come to places like Vietnam, Thailand, you coming too far. You can't be coming over here, man, bullshitting. This ain't the DR and Colombia and all closest place, Mexico, where you mess up there, you basically can walk home. Hey, what's up, TJ? He said, Alabang. If I could live anywhere in the Philippines with no regard for the return of investment, Alabang would be at the tip top of my list. Couple of spots above BGC, particularly Ayala, Alabang. Yeah, I was really impressed. We were right there in Alabang, really right on the edge of it. And I just like being around that swimming pool with all the greenery. I really like the complex, the grounds. It's like being at the beach to me. And most of those condominium places, they're bubbles. You don't even have to go anywhere. Because and remember I was there for 8 days or 9 days. I spent over $7,000 because you get your you get your receipt, Grab receipt on Grab. But I'm on vacation. If I was living there, I wouldn't be going somewhere every day. I wouldn't be going more every day. But yeah, I spent over 7,000 pesos on Grab alone. We didn't try that InDrive. I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, I remember this. He said, "Do you remember in San Carlos City when the blonde girl on another trike nearly broke my neck?" Yeah. And you were shocked. I was like, I told you, they're everywhere, but I guess Manila is just so many. And you probably could meet a woman on the street in Manila. It's so many of them. You know. But yeah, a lot of guys, man, are listening now. You know, we're getting through to a lot of guys, but you know, it's hard to beat loneliness and desperation, man. It's just hard to beat that. It takes a concerted effort, man. You really have to be intentional about it. Like, you know, especially when you come to a place like this, where the script is waiting for you. I don't care what they say about all the other places. Yeah, they may have better infrastructure and all that, but there's a woman here that's waiting for you to hustle you, to, you know, to come up on your back, man. And a lot of guys, they just are so, it's just unsuspecting, you know, because the women look normal. It's just so many little tricks and stuff that you got to look for. He said, "Cal, did you go to the Okada casino?" Man, I stay away from casinos, man. Yeah, I'm an impulsive gambler. A compulsive gambler, I mean. Impulsive and compulsive. But yeah, I haven't gambled since I've been here. In November, to be 8 years. We walked through a casino, man. I just felt it. When we went to Newport City. But the smoke alone is enough to keep me out of those casinos, Angelo. But, you know, you get that urge. You start getting that funny feeling inside. Thinking, yeah, let me give it one more try. One more failure, really, because he said, "Cal, did you get a chance to take the kids to Enchanted Kingdom?" No. I'm taking Peach's nieces there this weekend. Because we had scheduled to go, but a friend told us, he said, "Cal, you know that place only opens on," I think Kaz told me. He said it only works, it's only open on weekends. We were going to go last Wednesday. We already had it set up. He said, "I paid $4.92 for a gallon. Wow." Today near Raleigh, North Carolina. You know, they just don't care, man. You know, these elites and these oligarchs, they're just so out of touch with the people, man. I believe it's going to be a revolution, man. It's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I don't know what it's going to take for these imbeciles at the top, man, to listen to people. You know, giving all that money to a foreign country like that. For what? Why? Nobody even explains that to me or to anybody. We're funding genocides and all this stuff, man. He said the best HIV prevention is don't go raw doggy. Yeah, mofos, you don't know anything about their health history. What about the other stuff you get in addition to is nasty? Yeah. They don't have anything for crabs. They don't have anything for crabs. Yeah, he said $4.92. Wow. Oh, yeah. But see, that's what Eric was telling me. He's like, "Cal, if you go a little bit further up here in Montalupa, he said they got $1 million houses up there. He says where a lot of the, famous people and the congressmen and all this people live. Yeah, these bubbles, man, are genius. Especially when you get up there in Metro Manila, because, it costs you, man, to go to the city. When we went to Moore, it was 616 pesos. Then you got to come back. The algorithm changes. Because when we came back, it was 385. Yeah. I said this before. He said, man, honestly, dating in Manila has a whole other skill set compared to the other bigger cities, much less the province. Yeah. They just too hip, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said on that video, when you go to Manila and you go to those malls and stuff like that, you literally see those Miss Universe types. You see what everybody talks about. The 15s aren't really on the dating sites. If they are, they're scammers, man. It's not real. The only time you're gonna see a 15 is in the mall or someplace like that, around one of them bubble cities like IT Park, because they're all over Manila. I'm talking about stunners. Stunners everywhere, but when you talk about, Filipinos being beautiful, the real, truly beautiful women, they're not on the dating site. There's good women on there, but the real 15s, you got to go to the mall. You go to that Grand Canal Mall, Moore Festival Mall, man, you'll have whiplash. He said, "Hey Cal, what are your thoughts on the vow? How would you compare it to Cebu and Manila?" There's no comparison, man. I like the vow. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the big city for real. It doesn't have the big city feel that Cebu and Manila has. The vow to me has it's a big place, really the biggest city in the Philippines, but it has a small town feel to it. You'd have to go to these places in Manila to really understand what I'm talking about, and then go to Davao. But no, I wouldn't even compare them. Davao's into itself, but it's not the big city, man. The only city life you're gonna find is Cebu or Manila. I mean, I could see it. I could see the wonder in my kids' eyes. Okay, what? Here. They don't get that look anywhere else than when they were in Cebu and Manila. Wow, 569 in San Diego. And is this regular or unleaded? He said bricks. He said, "Hey Cal, have you been to Taiwan?" Only to fly in there. But let me tell you this. There's a friend of mine who bought a house in Laguna. He said, "Cal, I was going to retire in Taiwan." He was giving me the 411 on Taiwan. He said the only thing that stopped him was you could only be there 90 days. And you have to move every 90 days, do that, the visa run. And he said he didn't want to do that. He said, but the people, the cost of living, dating, he said everything was to his liking, and this guy can live anywhere. He's got the kind of money. But yeah, he raved all about Taiwan. But we're going to go, me and Marilyn going to go because it's so close to here. It's closer than Vietnam. He said, "I'm glad the girls don't do the same shit in the Philippines like they do in Colombia with all the druggings and taking everything." Yeah, they just do it in a different way, Nelson. But you're right. It is a different mindset. but they'll get you the same way. You know, it's just in a different. I mean, you'll end up losing everything anyway, but they'll just get you in a different way. They don't put you to sleep. They don't use this scopolamine. They use something else. He said, yes, they have a crab treatment. Yeah, I know they have a treatment. I'm talking about they don't have anything to prevent you from catching it, JC in Thailand. He said it's a special, was for your junk. They've had that since I was been a teen more than 30 years ago. Yeah, but so what, you put it on? You gonna tell me that a woman's gonna let you put cream and all stuff all around you and lay down with her? We know there's treatment for it. We're talking about not to prevent it. Unless you'll get down there with a damn magnifying glass looking for the damn crabs. They ain't got no, they don't have no prevention for that. Unless you're going to wrap up in, they still going to get through the plastic. You can cover yourself with plastic and just have a hole down there for your dingaling. They're going to get through the hole that your dingaling's coming out of. You really just got to have some more patience, man. We just don't have it. It's hard to beat, you know, desperation and loneliness, man. They don't have a treatment for that. He said, I think some men just don't really listen and follow the patterns. So many are emotionally immature and unskilled in relationships. That's why they're getting scammed on food. Yeah, there's a sucker born every minute. And then some guys are just too smart for their own good, Icy. Sunshine Shows can't tell me nothing. I'm older than him. I got more money. I'm more educated. But they've never been here before. They don't know. It's a thin line between love and a scam over here. I mean, it's really a thin line. Men are with women now, don't even realize they're being scammed. They're being hustled. The woman's got somebody else somewhere, or she really don't care nothing about you. And you think, or she's doing everything to me that a woman who loves me would do. She must love me. I'm sorry. Hey, what's up, Ron? Thank you, brother. He said, hey, Cal, Sunshine Shows family, checking in. Happy birthday. He said, you don't want to go to the casino in Okada if you have a gambling problem. Yeah, I got a gambling problem. Excuse me. I got a lot of problems. Because I got a compulsive personality, man. Anything that feels good to me, I'm going to keep doing it. He said, Davao feels like an extremely large town. It is. It's the biggest city in the Philippines. You know, land-wise. Yeah, this is it right here. This is it. This is what I'm saying. You can't compare it to Cebu. It doesn't have that big city feel to it. He says, I'm in Davao right now, and it feels like a big suburb. Yeah, see, this is it right here. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He said beautiful is subjective. But I think when you see a 15, there ain't no subjective there. Okay? Now, yummy sixes and all that, yeah, but when you see a true 15, there ain't no subjective there. You might say, yeah, she's a 10, but no, ain't no subjective when it comes to that. I don't know what kind of women you've been looking at. There's not one woman in that Miss Universe contest that isn't a 15 for real. Or 12. He's talking about subjective. Yeah. You only say that because you got a 3 for real. That's all. Okay, Angelo, take care. He said, Casino Cal, play the roulette game. Find a $5 equal peso table. Get 200 chips. 40 spins. Play 5 per spin, same number consecutively. And you're guaranteed to hit 2 to 3 times and enjoy. Yeah. But the problem is, for a compulsive gambler like me, you never win. There is no 40 spins. You just get, once that feeling hits you, you start getting high. It ain't even about the money no more. It's about the action. Man, I'm telling you, I've walked into casinos before. One of the last times I was in a casino, I walked in. I play dice. I shoot dice. I play the crap table. There's a little guy on there. He got hot on the dice. I never touched the dice. It never got around to me. I was up $5,000. They gave me all, that's how I know what a band of hundreds is 5,000. They gave it to me. I walked off the boat, went to get something to eat, and I got to thinking, because I'm a compulsive gambler. Wow, if it was that easy, how much more can I win? Went back on the boat. Not only did I lose the 5,000, but I lost 2,000 of my own money. No, I'm not going at all. He said, Bacala's bigger city as well. I don't like for more else than I don't like for more else than my visa hospital visit. Yeah, I mean it's an expat alley, but when you go to Bacala, it's not Cebu, it's not Manila. Those are really the only two metropolitan places that's going to make you feel some kind of way. He said, I had that wonder in my eyes too. I composed myself, but I was definitely giddy, on the inside. You do. You get that. It's certainly when you get outside of the city of Manila. When you go to a place like Makati, which is like the city, but you go to these other places, you'll be like, man, it's a whole lot out here. I better put some respect on the Philippines. Because, it's just, you never see it all. A guy told me that years ago. He said, I've been here 22 years, you'll never see it all. So we'll start making assumptions based on where we are. You can't go up in Metro Manila and say that it's not all that, because it is. I don't see how you could be having a whole lot of complaints if you're from the West. So then what we do? We start comparing it to other countries. No, stay in the Philippines, man. Hey, what's up, Paul? I forgot you back in the States. He said 365 in South Bend. Now, it's less than a week visiting the U.S. and the attitude and tension as the vision is so apparent. Yeah, it's colored hair. Piercings, as it's like they want you to know their position. Well, it's not even us, man. They divided us. It's just the stupid shit that the people at the top are doing. And they keep saying those same talking points like we're stupid. It's never about Iran having a nuclear weapon. You're the reason why they're closer to having a nuclear weapon. They already had the JCPA agreement with Obama. They already had all of that. America, man, it's just showing its true colors now. Yeah, he's saying that. He's saying beautiful is subjective because he's got a 3. That's the only reason he would say that. If a woman is bad, she's going to be bad. Okay? If she's beautiful, she's beautiful. There's no arguing about it. And certainly if you're a man. He said double O roulette is the worst house edge in the standard casino. Yeah. And the slot machines, that's where they earn all their money. When you start playing craps, you get the percentages are closer. The house doesn't really have a real gigantic edge like it does with those slot machines. Blackjack is another one where, the house really doesn't have a gigantic edge. You can actually go in there and win and leave, but that's the thing that gets you. If you're a compulsive gambler, you're not going to win. You're never going to win. Because we don't think the same way as regular people. When you got 5,000 free money in your hand, Somebody else is going to go pay bills or something, buy a car or something. They're not going to go back in and gamble it, and lose it. Hey, thank you. Cedric, he said, happy birthday, Cal. What's your take? Rating them Ilo versus other mid-sized cities. Would you ever consider it? Yeah, but Metro Manila is on a whole other level, guys. And then Cebu's way down, a second, in second place. All the rest of these places, they're good places to live, but you can't compare them to Metro Manila. Ilo's a real nice place, especially the New World, where it just looks like you don't even think you're in the Philippines. You think you're in somewhere, wherever a modern country is, a Western country or one of these Thailand, Vietnam type places, but it only has patches of places like that. In Metro Manila, man, they got 16 cities, plus the city. But yeah, I would consider Ilo, but if you really, eventually, a lot of us come from the city. If you don't come from the city, you're not going to like Metro Manila, not going to like Cebu. You're going to like some place like Iloilo, Bacolod, Dumaguete. But if you're from the city, man, the only thing, eventually, Metro Manila is going to call you. But it's all about finding a balance. Remember, there's no rules. You can stay there 3 months. I would move around until I really found a place that grabbed a hold of me. Same with the women, man, because eventually you want to be happy, man. That's what it's all about. He said you're going to run out of space with those calendars. Yeah. Well, they got the little 6-3 on there. We'll get that today. They got smart. Yeah. Yeah, they got smart. But, I'm thankful, man. I really am, As you get older, guys, this is truth. This is facts. Anybody watching this, you don't even have to be 63, but life, man, means something totally different. It's sacred now. It's precious. Every moment, you really, really enjoy it. Because I'm way up there now. I'm 63. I'm way past. I'm in that anytime stage, really. I could go at any time. Y'all, a lot of you guys on borrowed time. I'm a black man, I'm sorry. And once you get in your 60s, you on any time. I don't take anything for granted. Man, making love, man, I enjoy every push. Everything. Every bite of my food. Because, man, reality kicks in. It's already kicked in. I've seen too many of my family and friends and just people in general die. You're not guaranteed, man. So, yeah, I'm thankful to be alive another day. I'm not going to lie. So, really, every day is my birthday for real. He said I was being a simp. I don't know. You can answer that question yourself. Everybody can't be a simp. Now that's subjective. That's subjective right there. Okay. And it's you guys that, look at this guy. It's just a real person, man. Don't mistake my passion for crankiness or whatever, dude. Come on. Why are you on here like this? Looking like Fat Albert or some damn baddie. Who are you really behind that old funny looking face of yours on that profile? And you going to come on here with that foolishness, man. Go on somewhere. We ain't got time for games. Y'all fools need to grow up over there. We living our best life over here. We don't have to go home. We don't have to get up and go to work in the morning. Stupid fool. We getting the tune up with the free oil change and lube job. You over there still jacking yourself off, beating yourself half to death. Hell out of here. Yeah, Charlie Chow Man. Yeah, of course he is. He's got to have the biggest, ugliest black face that he could find to put on his profile. We know who you are behind that big ass, ugly ass face. They think they slick. They say, I know I can smooth Sunshine Shoulders. I'll just get a big fat Albert looking face and put it on there with some big bug eyes and get on his live stream and talk crazy about it. You got to get up early in the morning and fool us, man. We've seen it all over 6 years. Hey, thank you, man. Crazy Black American. He said, who doesn't have a stable and nice paying jobs? Yeah, and if you can't, and if you're not over here living your best life, you've done enough over there. I'm talking about the people who follow me. I love LaChawn, them W Secrets of Success. They're winning. Even if they're in America. This damn Barry George, whoever the hell he is. Look at him. You funny, man. Look at him. He ain't real. If you real, go ahead and kill yourself right now. If you real looking like that. But yeah, guys, if you get older, you really start appreciating life, man. Yeah, you know, you got to deal with people like that. You know, we've been on here too long. He said, say it for the people in the back. Yeah, we don't have to work, man. Hey, you know, those days are over. One thing I really enjoy about being over here, and it gives me an appreciation for being retired. We went to the mall in Manila, and there was a new Adidas place that was opening up. And you used to just see all the stock that was in there. And you know that workers are going to have to put all that up, all those displays up. That would drive me crazy right now. I told Merrill, I said, I'm so glad I'm retired. Imagine coming to work and seeing that like that, man. That would be like, see, I'm living my best life in line at the PSA for my new Phil Lamb son's birth certificate. Yeah, everything is better in the Philippines, even the lines. Well, I went there. I mean, that's another good thing about being in Manila and Metro Manila. Everything is there. The embassy, all the headquarters of everything, the BIR, the immigration, everything's in Manila. We went to the same place. We had an appointment for Booby's DNA and found out that we needed the PSA birth certificate, not the copy we had. We were able to go there and get one in 5 minutes. Otherwise, all that money and everything would have been wasted. Yeah, he's in the Jackhammer Club. If you're still beating yourself off, man, kill yourself, really. Those days are over, man. It's women out here that are ready, willing, and able to satisfy you, man. So don't come on my channel with all that stuff. He said the Jackhammer Club. What? He said, you're so right about that in your 60s. You see a lot of close family and friends pass each day. Yeah, life is precious. I mean, it really is, man. I don't complain anymore. I don't. Yeah, these guys, Brian, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. But we don't play that on my channel. Yeah, you missed the troll. He got off of here. He said, I got to hit the hamster wheel in the morning. Yeah, I'm out. Okay. Yeah, we didn't. I'm gonna tell you something. I love John. We ran into the traffic in Cebu. We didn't run into it in Manila. I don't know why. Maybe we got fortunate. But in Cebu, yeah, we ran into it. He said, "Today's your birthday, Cal. My birthday's June the 1st. Yeah, man. I'm thankful just to see another day. I'm not gonna lie. Every day's my birthday that I'm living and breathing. Yeah, he's out for here now. He couldn't fool anybody. Hey, you know something? Y'all see where that Australian gang member got killed over in Ho Chi Minh City. And one of his top lieutenants was critically injured. And they said, yeah, you can run, but you can't hide. And they had two hitmen from two Samoans. That's who they're looking for now. They just came up on him on the street. I think Roger sent me that clip. And it's all in the news now. They just came up on him to get. They saw, okay, right? If you would go back and look at one of my Vietnam videos, we walked past this seafood restaurant where all the seafood is out there in aquariums. You can just go and pick it. He walked right through there early in the day. The gunman did. Saw the people, turned around and started shooting. He killed the gang member. Oh, they found him? I forgot TJ's over there in Vietnam. Because according to this report, they saw him heading toward the Cambodia border. I'm like, damn. This was a young guy too. He was only 24. He was head of that, a big drug running. They was doing all kind of stuff. He had big money. They got him. But yeah, I think one of the biggest misconceptions about moving overseas, anywhere overseas, is it's going to be easy. I think that's one of the biggest misunderstandings when you watch these videos. We make it look easy. It's just like any other successful person. You only see the success. You don't see the hard work and the failures behind it. And so a lot of guys, they think, oh, well, all I got to do is I'm in decent shape and I got, money. That's all I got to do. Isolation is waiting for you over here for a lot of us. And it takes a while before it gets you. Because when you first get over here, you're going to be busy. Trying to get settled in. But the day's going to come, man, when it's going to get real quiet. And you ain't going to know what to do. You ain't going to know where to go. Because when you got a job, man, it was more than just a paycheck. It gave you a routine. You had a routine. It gave you a sense of purpose. You had co-workers to talk to and joke with and everything like that. But then when you move overseas in a whole different country and you putting all your emphasis and faith in a woman, which is what y'all doing, it hits you hard, man. It really hits you hard. It's expensive trying to fill up all that time you got. Guys buying cars, and they getting married, they doing all kind of stupid shit. Yeah, we're going to be there. We should be there in time for that festival. But see, here's the thing that got me. I got to be in Manila June the 8th. Booby and them start school June the 8th. See, we were going to fly out June the 9th. But that It's going to probably have to be probably a couple of weeks after that. But yeah, when you get over here, see, this is what people don't want to admit. They want you to think, yeah, I'm living my best life over here. Look at how much fun I'm having. And, you know, when you watch videos, you got to understand, we're not coming from the same place. Some people just got here. Some people have been here 6 months. Some people have been here 6 years. You're getting a mixed messages is what you're getting. The only way you're going to figure it out is to come over here. Because when you see guys, some guys are on a pink cloud. I'm trying to think of this guy video, this young guy. Oh, he's on a pink cloud. I can't listen to him for 5 minutes. But I don't blame him because he just got here and he's talking about, what's this guy? He's a white guy. He looks like he's like a stoner or something. He's a young guy with blonde hair, long. He's on Facebook too. What's his name? I can't think of his name. I can't listen to him for 5 minutes because I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's talking about coming over here, living like a king for $1,000 and he can build a man. You can come to the Philippines and build a mansion for $50,000, you know, where it's going to take you millions to do it in America. And he's got followers, man, you know. And then you get everybody from him to me and everybody in between. That the only way you're going to know is to get over here. He said the smartest decision I ever made was going to the Philippines. I then spent the next 2 years setting up retirement there, and I still have business in the U.S. and I'm ready to sell it all. Just not worth the extra stress. Yeah, you make a lot of trips back and forth, Paul. I don't know how you do it. We're around the same age. Of course, I would love to be home more. It's just too far. That's one thing you have to, that's one decision you have to make when it comes to the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, anywhere in Southeast Asia. Are you willing to come this far, man? You're going to sacrifice a lot when you do. If you don't have a problem, the older you get, the harder them trips become. When I was young, man, I was coming to the Philippines every 2 months. I was making 4 or 5 round trips every month. But now as I've gotten older, he said, good morning and good evening, Sunshine Shows and Crew, visiting Cambodia currently. Yeah, that's another place people are saying, but that's really nice. They've got a real easy retirement visa. It's for 1 year. And basically, you got to come there first, you know, on the regular, what you get? 30 days or something. And then while you're there, apply for the retirement visa. I may just get one just to get one. Oh, she's almost 40? Oh, I didn't think she was that old. But, you know, it's hard to tell with women. Certainly over here and all the makeup and stuff. That's what's the unfair advantage they have. We can't wear makeup. You know, we can wear wigs if we want, if you want to look stupid. But, you know, you're just, what you see is what you get with us. That's an unfair advantage they've got. But it just depends. Some of the videos she makes, I can see. I thought she was maybe like 30 years old or something. And Cambodia is worse off than the Philippines. But you wouldn't know it if you listen to these vloggers. Cambodia is not even on the level with the Philippines. Economically. Hey, Sam, thanks for that super chat, man. I really appreciate everybody's super chat today. He said, happy birthday, Cal. I've enjoyed your videos over the years. I appreciate it, man. I'm just glad that people can relate to me. And anytime that, you know, a new guy who's starting a channel asks for my advice, I said, man, just be yourself. Stop making up shit with these topics and stuff like that. If you be a little transparent, you ain't got to be as transparent as I am, because I was very naive to do that. Only then are people going to relate to you. They're going to say, okay, I can see where he's coming from. But a lot of these vloggers, man, I can see why people don't follow them. They don't catch on. It's like, I can't relate. He said, hey, Cal, this is BA. He said, we never met, but I use your content in one of my videos to help promote the message. Hey, thank you, man. I don't know who's BA. He says, I can't deal with the flights at 32. Wow. Now, this is a good thing right here. Jim, he says, I'm studying my 11th year in the Philippines. Now, you saying you're going to school? Because I'm going to tell you something, Jim. This is what people don't understand when they get these SRRVs. They never even use them. You know, you can go to school, you can work, you can own a business. This is three things that people with SRVs that I know never do. They just get the SRV so they never have to leave the country. They don't take advantage. You can even apply for you even qualify for the universal health care. Here. Oh, okay, you're starting. Oh, you're starting. I thought you said you're studying. Yeah, well, you got a lot of good information then, Jim. You can help a lot of guys. Oh, okay. He says that's the guy that got interviewed in BMT. Now, this isn't the guy who said he was with the girl for 4 months and he found out she had a Filipino boyfriend. That's not him, is it? He said, absolutely, especially when you meet the people and then realize a bunch of the dudes are watching the same people. Okay, he said, I used to live in Cebu City. I'm a new YouTuber. What's the name of your channel? Because we're not going to troll you or anything on here. We'll try to support you. He says some men make themselves look older by growing facial hair. That's your choice. But it does make you look older correctly if you got gray hairs like I do. Well, I mean, I'm just saying though, but the only thing men really do is we dye our hair or whatever. A lot of guys do that. That's the only makeup we've got for real. Because you really don't know who you with until you wake up the next morning. Because Filipinos are good at that. They wear makeup and stuff. A lot of it. And you got to be careful. He said, hey, Cal, I watched one of your videos 2 weeks ago. It really helped me out with a situation in USA. And no other vloggers talking about that. Wow. What was it? Okay. He said, I wonder why I don't see the super chat button. I don't know, Sam. Oh, you got your 13A. Yeah. Well, you can do the same thing with a 13A, right, Jim? Oh, this is you. Okay. You think about going to China now, right? Is this the brother that they all went at you? But I'm like, well, why are they going at the man? He's just telling his story. Which, when you said that, you don't understand. I just made a video about that. A lot of that's going on. You got to understand, guys. Let me be honest. Merlin's brother stayed with us for a whole month. He stayed in the guest house for a whole month. He was sad the whole time. I mean, heartbroken. Because his woman was entertaining a foreign man over here. But that's how they get their money. You know, you can't be sad about that. I mean, it's just. And then when they came to Merlin's birthday party, you know, it was like she wasn't even ashamed, you know. I think he was, you know, but that's happening a lot over here because we're just not really doing enough investigation with these women. We're just going by what they're saying online and then coming over here meeting them and everything. But he had to leave his own house. I mean, that's Merlin's mother's house. The girl is staying with them. But, you know, she said, look, I've got a, you know, man coming. You got to get out of here. And I was like, wow. I couldn't deal with that. I'm sorry, man. I am sorry, dude. Oh, okay. So I'm the guy that recently did the interview, okay, with Kevin in Ho Chi Minh City, Black in Cambodia. My channel is Trinitario B Traveling. Yeah, that was a pretty good video. You living in Cambodia, right? See, a lot of, you know, here's the thing. Now, Edge Travels, he's been on my channel before, but he's about the only black vlogger I've seen in Cambodia. I'm sure there's got to be more. He said, oh, okay, he said, was collecting SSI for your little one at home that I did not know it exists. Can you believe that? Wow. No, it's not SSI. I'm getting Social Security at 62. You know, just regular Social Security. And my children who are under the age of 18, 18 and under, they're eligible to receive your benefits. I mean, that's nothing new. When I was 45 years old, the very first foreigner that I met over here, okay, he sent me a happy birthday on Facebook today. He's 78, so that means he's 15 years older than me. So he was just about ready to turn 62. He told me that in 2009, when I first met him, he said, yeah, you know, that once you start receiving your Social Security, your children are going to receive a check too. And, you know, and I'm like, I really wasn't. I was only half listening to him. I'm 45, man. But he kept reminding me of that over the years. Because he eventually they had a baby. And he's right. I didn't know it. Both my sons, they get about a little bit over 1,100 a month. It's gonna go down some once Booby is I go June the 8th. Well, I actually do the phone interview June the 5th. Then I go for her Social Security number on June the 8th. But I don't get the money. The money goes to them. It goes to their mother. But yeah, I was glad, you know, because yeah. Right. Thank you. But if this is what he signed up for, they've been doing it, according to Merlin, for more than once. And I think this is the first time I actually saw it. Now, Merlin said they've done it before, where men are coming. But you got to understand, guys, y'all are dealing with this. You just don't know it. You see the man, B.A., he says he's with the woman for 4 months. You just don't know. How would you know? You know, Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's tore up about it because he loves the woman, but he's not working. She won't let him work. She's getting big money from these foreigners. You know, and since that's how they paying the bills. So now this fool done went back to America and he's going along with the script. He's sending money back now like crazy. He said, dudes are so happy to get attention from a local woman here. They don't care about vetting her at all. This is true. I did a video on vetting because we only say vetting, Richie. Rich, you know that, but we don't go into detail. Well, what do you mean vetting? Investigating, man. You don't know her criminal history, a psychological history, and none of that. All she does is tell you to come on over here. You can blow it out, and that's all you need to hear. Yeah, but they've already come up with the plan. The man in America is the simp because the woman's pretending with him. You know, the problem is, why would you agree to something like that under no circumstances? I mean, I'm pretty sure he couldn't sleep at night because Merlin had to give him a sleeping pill. Could you sleep? We're Americans, man. We're going to come over here. We're going to turn her upside down, inside out. And I know all that's going through his mind. He can't sleep. I mean, there's no telling what that man was doing with his wife. But, you sign up for it. He said they're eligible for survival benefits up until the age of 18, but if they continue to go into college, they may stay into age 24 on the benefit. This is what I was told. Now, I'm not for sure. What you say? No, Ed. What are you saying? Do you know Ed? Is that what you're saying? No, I said I've heard of Ed Travels. He's been on my channel. But there's just not many black vloggers over in Cambodia that I've seen. Most of the vloggers that I've seen, in Cambodia, they've left the Philippines or Thailand and went to Cambodia. He said, hey, Cal, good to see you back on. Yeah, I'm telling you, though, I'm going to talk you into coming with me into Shanghai this summer. That would be an epic trip, man. I'm for it. I'm interested. Oh, okay, yeah, Ed, that's my road dog over there. He said we don't promote Cambodia much. Well, Ed's doing pretty good over there. When he was on one of my panels one time, and he was talking about he got a 5-bedroom house over there. He's living good over there. I know that they've got that 1-year visa that I like, retirement, then you can renew it. I just may get it just to get it. Yeah, see, but y'all don't understand. It's a whole different world over here. We're coming from America. We're coming from the West. Y'all don't really know the struggle for real, man. When agreements like that are being made. And they know, because here's the thing about the Filipinos on those dating sites, and probably all of them. They think that all we want is sex. Okay, that we're sex starved. You just give them sex and, that's it. You can basically own them and control them. And in a lot of ways, they're telling the truth. But it's just a shallow way. It's just a naive way of looking at men over in the West. And so that's why a lot of them bite off more than they can chew. But that's the way they look at us. They don't look at you for anything other than that. That's why when I watch these videos, I've been over here a long time, man. Not the longest, but long enough to have learned a lot of things about, these relationships, man, and what's really going on over here. Some of this stuff, man, will shock you. Even the most veteran expats. And that's one thing that does, I just didn't know it was that deep. See, see, this is what I'm saying. I just didn't know it was that deep. Okay, before we built this house, we lived across over in, this is Margarita Village Extension. We lived in Margarita Village. Well, our next door neighbor was married to a Filipino, and she's got a boyfriend. Because she's so much young. I think he's in his 70s. She's in her 30s. And, it was no secret amongst her friends. And even several of her friends, they were doing the same thing. Because Marilyn said they've got an apartment somewhere up in the mountains that they all use when they, want to deal with their Filipino boyfriends. And you're sitting there thinking, oh, yeah, this woman's crazy about me, and she's doing this and she's doing that, and I got the best woman in the world. It's just a lot of stuff that's going on over here. But it's just so much more to the Philippines than a relationship that you miss most of it. Worrying about a woman, you put too much emphasis on a woman. You're going to get that, man. Trust me, you're going to get that. That's the least of your worries. But we can't get past that. So a lot of y'all end up, man, just spending thousands and thousands of dollars on women before you even meet them. Sending them money you're going to need when you get over here. And then once, the dust settles, you're like, man, I did all that for this? Yeah, he says, I do receive 2 private pensions and Social Security. That's my income. Well, hell, that's enough. Yeah, but see, it's happening a lot more than just you. Guys just aren't privy to it. At least you found out. I think she was honest enough to tell you if I'm getting the story right. Because I think you wanted to marry her or whatever it is like that. Y'all don't understand that the majority of women over here, they really want a Filipino man. If you don't believe me, just go watch my Fantastic 4 Inches video. They don't care that you got money and all of that. A lot of them would rather struggle with a Filipino man than to deal with you. Yeah, there are some women who, they've had it. It's like, oh, I've had it with this way of life. It's just too tough for me. I want something different. I'm going to get on the dating site. But for the overwhelming majority of women over here, they want Dong. Okay? That's who they want. They don't want you, man. Because, okay, I'm going to read this and then because he's exactly right. Because we're putting too much trust and too much faith in these women. And if you only knew, he says, you got to dig deep in her background. Don't take her word for shit. Investigate everything she says. Ask her family questions and ask her friends questions. Yeah, because we're giving women over here a pass who don't deserve it. You, man, and then you're going to be like, man, I see it. I'm like, why are you guys going so crazy over these women? These women. They're good women and everything. But I'm saying a lot of you guys, you just give them a pass. Like, you believe everything they say. She's different from everybody else. You don't listen to nobody who's been through, what you're trying to go through. Why would you be with a woman over a Filipino woman who's already been with 2 or 3 foreigners? I mean, what's that all about? I don't understand what that's all about when there's enough women over here that you don't have to do that. Why would you subject yourself to that? There's men, I know guys who are probably watching this live stream now, who married women, who married one woman. I had dinner with him. He married a woman who had already been with 3 foreigners before. And you know how he justified it? They were the problem. not his girlfriend. You're missing the whole point. You know, it's only a matter of time, man. That's not going to work. I'm sorry, man. It's different than having 3 domes and 3 foreigners. Man, there's no way. 1 is too many for me. 3? I got a friend he's got his live-in partner. He's crazy about her. He's been with 3 foreigners that I know of. And they all done tossed her up and, and everything. It's like, dude, what are you doing? But they don't listen to stuff like that. Running around here with married women and stuff like that. Y'all won't listen. So, like I said, I can't help. Everybody can't be helped, but more guys are waking up. More guys are saying, hey, I'm bringing a whole lot more to the table. I deserve better. Certainly respect and all of that. He said, hey, Cal, it's Chang here. Hey, thank you, Chang, for coming. He said, I'll keep it real, Cal. A lot of Filipinos are in survival mode. When good opportunities are limited, some people end up chasing fast money or making bad choices just to survive. Well, you preaching to the choir, but it's so refreshing to hear it coming from a Filipino. See, this is what you're never going to really hear a Filipino talk about. The real nitty gritty about what goes on over here. This is what it is right here. But anybody with common sense can see it. But if you talk about what you're seeing right in front of your face, people get offended. They'll want to deport you and get rid of you. So when a Filipino says that she can say it and get away with what they want, they'll just say stupid stuff like what a video came across my screen today. The 3 hoes. Filipinos want baby juice and all the stupid shit like that, right? And all it's doing is drawing you into the net so you can lose your life savings. That ain't doing nothing to help you. All it's doing is feeding that loneliness and desperation, but y'all too ignorant to see it. That's all it's doing. 99.99% of the Filipino vloggers making videos, they're feeding this stuff to you. They're feeding your desperation and your loneliness. That's all they're doing. They're not helping you at all. But if somebody says something like this, which is 100% absolute facts, you won't listen to it. But they won't say it because they know they're going to catch flack if they do. This is it right here. This is dating in a nutshell over here, right here, what she said. Okay? If I said this, they'd have me up there. They'd have me up there in front of the immigration. This is every relationship basically on the dating site. It's right there, what she said. He said, that doesn't excuse scamming, but I also think it's important to understand the poverty and desperation behind some of these situations. I do, Chang, but a lot of these men don't because it's not my place, really. I try to tell them that in a roundabout way, but it's really not my place to really, it's a lot nittier and a lot grittier over here than I'm telling you. But I just don't think it's my place to talk about stuff like that, to get that deep. But it is yours. You can do it. I can't do it. But this is what it is. But you can't tell guys that. Oh, she really loves me. Oh, it's not all about money. Well, what is it? Why would an 18-year-old woman be interested in a 55-year-old man? Okay? Why, the minute you get off the plane with a woman who, under regular circumstances, would never jump right in bed with a man she doesn't know? Why did she do that? There's got to be something going on. There's got to be something deeper. And it is. It's just what Chang just said. But y'all don't want to listen to that. And these are the women that y'all don't even take time to get to know the country, the culture, the people. And so you're marrying into these situations, not realizing the depth of the poverty, the depth of the struggle. You don't even try to understand it. You never even stop to think. You think you stay on that level, you surface level with it. You're afraid to go way down there. You know, because you'll fall for the old, oh, I'm tired of Filipino men shit. That's what they tell you. They throw all Filipino men under the bus when it's not true. I'm over here, man. These guys are hard working. A lot of them are like matinee idols. They're lying to you. Every man over here is not fooling around. They taking as good a care of these women as they possibly can. But they throw every Filipino man under the bus to convince you that that's why she's on the dating site, and you fall for it. Oh, I'm tired of Filipino men. Yeah, lady, you only have one Filipino man, so you gonna throw them all under the bus? You lying. Tell that to somebody else. Don't tell that to Sunshine Shoulders. I know better. But I give you big time respect, Chain, for these two comments right here, because this is dating in a nutshell. But you can't get these guys to look at these videos, these couples. Oh, she really loves me. 22, I'm 58. They get ready to have a kid. Oh, she really loves me. And not even trying to understand what's going on. He said, guys, just accept the fact that you're sharing a girl. You don't have to be loyal to a girl you're sharing. Well, a lot of times it's not the case. This isn't the case all the time. But it's enough. It happens enough. The Ron Simon, that you have to look for those type of signs. Okay? You can't just take for granted that, oh, she's single. It happens so much that you need to be on your P's and Q's when you come dealing with a woman over here. You need to take your time. Stop rushing into everything. How many times we done say, I've been on here 6 years. I know I probably said that 1,000 times at least. The same stuff we're talking about today, but you got to keep talking about it. There's new viewers coming along. Repetition. Eventually it'll catch on. This is what we're trying to wake more men up. Because men are waking up. When I went to that meet and greet, man, when I first had my first meet and greet in April or May of 2022, everybody was coupled up. It was 30 couples there. We had a great time, man. We had a blast, but everybody had a one. There was no single men there. Not one. Only the driver, okay, of one of my members had a driver. He was the only one. As time gone by until this last meet and greet, I'm going to say 60% of the people there were single men. They're like, hey, I don't want to go down that path. I'm going to take my time. One guy I met, I told you, David from California. He had been here for 2 months. He's got his stuff together. He's got a house over there that, he's got a rental agency taking care of it for him. He's got money. He could have a woman if he wants. He's like, no, I promised myself I wasn't going to do that. I was going to take my time to get to know the place, the Philippines, see if this is right for me. He said, because these women, they want everything instantaneous. They want, and it's true. And guys are finding that out. He said, my wife has been a school teacher for 30 years in the elementary school in the Philippines. I believe she'd be ready for retirement in about 3 years. Well, hell, you're smart, Jim. You got a good one. Because we retire women over here. There's women right now who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s who are retired. They'll never have to work again. Is that a good thing? I don't think it is, but it's just something that, that's part of this equation. So when they better hope and pray that the relationship does work out. That's why you see a lot of these bloggers, they're pushing this, make sure you take care of her. So if you're not around stuff. Why? Why can't she just take her ass to work? But they're pushing that. It's different if you're married. It's different if you got children. Yeah, you're going to want to do something. But most of us aren't married. And most of us don't have children. We're doing this stuff for women we're not even married to. We don't have any skins in the game. So you don't owe them anything really, okay? Yeah, you give them a new life while you're together. Look, lady, you need to do something with that money that I'm giving you every month. Okay? Yeah, see, Chang, if Chang was to make videos like that, their channel would blow up. If they did videos consistently talking about that situation, because that's the situation. That's the reason why the woman signs up for the dating site. Are there some women on there who really are tired of Filipino men? I don't know. It's hard to say because they got a very low body count. You just can't label every Filipino man as a playboy or something like that. But most of it is that. But there's not one Filipino that's going to tell you that. None of them. From the biggest one all the way down. All they're doing is feeding your loneliness and desperation. How great the woman is. How great it is to have a Filipino woman. And what she's going to do for you. She's so much different, so much better than all the other women. But they never give you what Chang just gave you. And y'all not even going to listen to that. Because that's the truth. You don't want the truth. He says, Chang is right. Survival mode or financial stability is 70 to 90% of Phil-Am relationships. Add to it, we put women as the number one priority, and Filipinos put their partners number 4 or 5. Yes, we're not that priority. But yeah, it's more than 70 to 90%. It's more like 90 to 98%. You'll meet a woman like Chang, who, she's part of the 2%, a widow rather, who she said Filipino men didn't find her attractive, so friends, said, hey, why don't you try the dating site? There's about 2% of the women that are on there like that. The rest of them, it's survival mode. That's one thing that I respect about Marilyn. Marilyn's always been honest. I don't know why. Maybe because she had a feeling that I knew already. But she never lied to me about why she was on there. She just said I wanted some help. I was tired of struggling. I need some help for me and my kids. And it just made me, she doesn't realize, I'd already dealt with 2 Filipinos before I met her. Really more, but, serious relationship. And I was like, wow, she's the only one that's ever said that to me. The rest of them is always, I'm tired of Filipino men. They're this and they're that. And, they're playboys. I want something different. It's bullshit. He said the truth will eventually come out. Play the game long enough for the truth to come out. Then move on with your wallet, pride, sanity intact. Yeah, it's certainly a game. Okay? It's certainly a game. But when men are we put so much emphasis, we put so much on a relationship over here that it's all or nothing. We put it all on the spin of the wheel. We don't realize, oh man, look at the tropical weather over here, the beautiful beaches, the natural beauty, the low cost of living. We're welcome in the Philippines. All that other stuff, we throw it out the window. Okay, the freedom that you get over here, all of that, none of that matters. They put it all on the spin of the wheel on the dating site, the woman in the relationship. They base it all on that. Not realizing, man, it's a game. She's going to pretend to love you. You pretend to believe her. That's all you got to do, really. That's all you got to do. He said some of these female live streamers, including Filipinos, are so aggressive, demanding for online donations while they're e-pimps just watching, pretending as moderators. You know, you're so right about this, man. So many games being played over here. But they want to throw all of us in the same basket. That's why I get offended. I don't knock anybody for what they're doing on YouTube. But don't pretend like we're all the same. But this is true. Listen to this right here. Pretending to be moderators. Or even better than that, they're behind the scenes filling the woman's script, giving her the script. But either way it goes, they're feeding your loneliness and desperation. They're not doing anything to help you. They're not telling you things that only they can tell you about the Philippines. Like really being like a tour guide. Tell me about this country that Sunshine Shows can't tell the men because he's not from the Philippines. He didn't grow up here. I'm just telling you from my experiences. They won't tell you the thing. They're telling you stuff that I can tell you. That's not doing you any good. He says she's keeping it real. These women want to survive. Yeah, you know, as long as you know that, you got a better chance of not getting scammed or not falling into some rabbit hole, man, that there's no bottom to it. But we don't want to hear that. These guys, you know, everything is riding on a relationship, that they only listening to the positive stuff. So they see these young Filipinos with these older foreigners, and they seem to be, you know, getting along well and everything. And that's what they want. Okay. They're following the followers.
And do you know where's the brush?
I don't know where the brush is. Look how long your hair is now. There. Get out of here. Now, see, here's the Raymond is, his situation is different too. Because he's got a real nice woman. He's got her own money, basically. Okay, he says, when I met Peach, I asked her how many foreigners she'd been with before. If she would have said 2 or more, I would have kept it going. Not one, not no 2, but you got a good woman, Raymond. And there's good women out here, guys. But it's just far too many that are not now. You know, Chang just, you know, won the internet today. Certainly the live stream. But you may not ever hear that again from her. If she did that on her channel, see, she could say that and just ride off into the sunset on my live stream. That is it right there, guys. I might just stop the live stream and just let it be over with. But that's the crux. That's the basics of all the relationships that you see over here. 98% of them, that's it. It don't get any, that's it right there. Well, of course, you're not going to want to hear it. He said, yeah, I said this on BMT Live. The Black Filipino misled lots of Americans into thinking Filipinos love foreigners. He is right, but he never said Filipinos prefer white guys who are foreigners. Well, you know, you got to understand, remember, you're not going to know until you get over here and figure it out yourself. You can't blame the vlogger. You can't say he misled you. He's telling you, he's giving you his experience and what he's seeing. Okay? Chang just told you the truth. She didn't say nothing about color. Do some Filipinos prefer white men? Yeah, but the majority of them prefer Filipino men. Chang was married to a Filipino man. That was who her husband was. You know, sadly, he passed away. But she wasn't married to a foreigner first. That's who they prefer. Now, if they're going to come out, now, do some Filipinos prefer white men based on, what they're hearing and what they're being told? You can go anywhere and say that. You can go to Thailand and say that. You can go to Africa and say that. But some of them do. Okay, all I need is one who's going to stop and listen to me, and I can get to meet her, and we can build something together. All I need is one. I don't need them all. And this is where y'all getting mixed up. I don't care. Who cares what they prefer? It's not about them. It's about you. What do you prefer? What do you want? Nobody cares what they prefer. They're not even in position. Did you just hear what Chang said? They're not even in position to be preferring nobody, to make any kind of rules. Yeah, lady, sit down somewhere. Okay? But that's their choice. Everybody's got preferences. But I just think that he's giving you his insight. I don't think he misled you. Remember, he's a foreigner, man. Filipinos have a big advantage. Filipino vloggers do over us. Whether they use it or not, it's up to them. But they can talk about things we can't talk about. He can't go on there really and put him down. Not even want to live over here for 11 years like he's been, and successful as he is. He can't get all the way down in the mud. I don't think it's our position to do that. I don't think we should do that anyway. So he's going to give them the benefit of the doubt because he's in a good relationship. But the Filipinos, she can tell you for real because she knows for real. But they're just not going to tell you. They're going to look after the sisterhood. They got a strong sisterhood, man. I call it support group. You call it sisterhood. They look after each other, even strangers. I can tell you from, man, it's so many times where, I had a guy, rest in peace, my buddy Jim. But it's happened to me too, but I'm going to use Jim experience because, anyway, he was dealing with more than one woman. He was dealing with a woman in Davao. He was dealing with a woman in Bacolod, the woman he was with when he died. I guess he was still dealing with both of them. Well, anyway, the one in Bacolod found out that he was dealing with the woman in Davao. Well, hell, they became friends. They could communicating to each other. The one in Bacolod, I feel sorry for you, sis, and this and that. And they friended each other on Facebook. Man, this is what we're dealing with over here. Y'all have no idea. They're going to look like Paul said. You're about 4 or 5 down the chain. Okay? But yeah, they're going to look after each other. He said, you're so right. I've seen many Filipino vloggers do exactly that. As many foreigners throw money at them, and I don't know why, but they do, Cal. Well, they just do. I can't read the comments. That's what is so cringy to me. It's just the comments. Go into these, some of these women just are outright scammers. You can just tell. Okay, there's no hiding it. You can see right through them. But then you go into the comments and it's like, guys, this is why we can't win. That's why it's hard to flip the script. Okay, and put things into perspective. Because there's a sucker born every minute, man. Some of these guys are just, there's no helping them. There's just no helping them, man. That's what the problem is. You go in there, man, and it's like, these women can't do no wrong. These women are yummy 6s and yummy 5s on their best day. These guys are worshiping these women. It don't matter if they got 4 or 5 kids. Some of them got 4 or 5 kids. It don't matter. They want them. He said some of these women got 3 bananas in the tailpipe and we still fall for them. Yeah. All you got to do is take your time, and then you're going to have better results. If you just do that one thing, you can forget all about all the other things you hear bloggers say. If you just take your time, you're going to weed out all this stuff, man, because they don't have time, really. Y'all got it wrong about Filipinos playing the long game. They don't have time for that. Shane said it. They're in survival mode. They want results right away. You guys have got it wrong. It is no long game. You got to play the long game. You got to take the time and play the long game. Okay? It's like the United States fighting Iran. Okay? Eventually, it's a waiting game. Who's going to win the waiting game if they wait? The United States. But the United States can't afford to wait. It's like you and the Filipina. She can't afford to wait, dude. You make her wait, you're going to find out everything you need to find out. Yeah, he didn't mislead anybody. Yeah, he said, what? What are you talking about? Are you serious, bro? Black Filipino didn't mislead anyone. People hear what they want to hear. Yeah, you can't blame it on the bloggers, guys. You can't do that. Yeah, you're right. You're right there with me. Okay? You're right there with me. But when you rush in, remember only fools rush in, Evolve Fire. This is what you're running into. Honestly. This is what you're running into. Okay, imagine, y'all only looking at Merlin's brother's side. You're not looking at the American guy. He's the fool. He's the one. Imagine all the money he sent the woman before he come over here. And all the money he's spending when he's over here. And believing everything she's saying. And he done went back to America. He's all in love now. What about him? That's us. He said, are you a defense attorney? He is influencer. Yeah, you're right. People do. We do after a certain amount of time. We have to take some responsibility. But to say that he misled you, see, I think that's the word that's got everybody kind of up in arms. I don't think he intentionally misled anybody. Did you misinterpret something? But when you say misled, there's a lot of intention involved in that. I never got that from him. I watched him before I had my channel. I just said, because he used to just talk about, when I first started watching him, that's why I started watching him. I'm still subscribed to him. He was just talking about his life over here. That's what drew me to him. It was when the, because remember I came over in 2018. The pandemic and lockdowns didn't start to 2020. I think that changed a lot of the Filipino genre. Because his channel was totally different, but I never got the impression that he was misleading anybody. I don't know. But we do have some responsibility. You're right about that. But I think the fact that you use the word mislead, that's kind of a strong statement, man. But I agree with you. People who create content can certainly influence the outcome of things people don't know. But I don't understand how you said he misled you because you got involved with the woman. You chose the woman. He didn't. Now it would be different if he introduced you to that woman and said, yeah, she's single and she's this and she's that. But if you met her on the dating site of your own free will, I don't understand how you say that he misled you. This is what we're trying to figure out. I want to know that. Okay, because, you know, unless he introduced you to that woman, that's all I'm saying. Hey, what's up? Obi wanted to know me. He said, Mr. Fuck around, find out you're a grown man. If you let another man lead you that you don't even know, then you're in for more pain. I'm just saying. Well, mislead is just a, I just think it's a tough word to use. But unless the man introduced him, I don't see how the black Filipino can even be brought into his situation. If he met a woman online, they were together, and the woman ended up having a Filipino boyfriend, where does the black Filipino fit into that equation? I don't see it. I'm trying to find out. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just trying to find out, where does he fit into that situation where he's saying, where he misled you? Because here's what I know for a fact, guys who watch these vlogs. Y'all want a guarantee. And we can't give you a guarantee that everything's going to work out for you. Everything's going to be, dreamland. But this is what guys want. And so when it don't go the way that they expect it to, they come back to the vlog. Or, oh, he misled us. No. I share my experience. 98% of my videos are about me and what I've been through. Y'all you can see into it more than you want to see into it. I can only talk about things that I've experienced, what I'm seeing, living, and experiencing. That's what I talk about. I don't make up stuff. I'm telling you that enough women over here, not all of them, but enough of them, are dealing with Americans and Filipino men that you need to be cautious of that. You need to be looking for those type of red flags. Okay, I'm not going to say, oh, this is what I've seen. Not once, not twice, 3 times. In this little bitty San Carlos City. So you can imagine what's going on in Cebu and Manila. He says it's hard to tell. It's not really hard to tell, man. You can see some stuff. If she's always going back to the province or something like that, always on the phone, you can tell if you're sharing. You can tell if you're sharing. Because a friend of mine said the same thing. He messaged me just 2 days ago. He's like, I should have known, because the woman he's dealing with, he showed me some pictures. The foreigner was a big guy, looked like he was from Poland. This guy was about 6'3" or 6'4", looked like he weighed like 300 something pounds, right? And he said, this is who she was. When she told me that she went back to the province, this is who she was with. She was on vacation with this man. He said, and when we were together, now I could tell. He said, I could tell it was loose. You can tell. You can tell, guys, if you want to tell. But the problem is, we're just rushing, man. We're going too fast, man. The script, we need a new script, guys. We need a new script. We got to tear that one up, because that's the one we all are playing. You meet the girl online, you start chatting, you start sending money, you come over here. You have the best 2 weeks of your life, or you just stay over here, and then you go back home and start spending money. That's the script. We need a new script. Maybe we need to take a page out of Chang Richie Rich's book. Maybe you don't need. Maybe she needs to have her own place, and they're the only ones that's doing that. Who else on YouTube is doing that? That you know, that's a real couple. But he's got his own place and she's got hers. Living apart but together. See, that's the new thing, really, in the 21st century. All you gotta do is Google it, because we already know it's problems, man, when you living with somebody. Yeah, but his influence, he influenced you to come to the Philippines, but okay, that's it. So what did he mislead you about? Is all we're saying. That's all. Because you're the only one that I've ever heard say that about him. And the guy's got a big following, man. Well, if Chang is going to say the kind of stuff she said today, yeah, because that's real. That's real stuff right there. But not only on YouTube, but just their example in real life. It never even crossed my mind to think I could even do that. Even though hindsight is 2020 and more will be revealed as live over here long, and you say, well, because I met a guy, he's a nurse. He's a retired nurse. He met a young woman. He was at my meet and greet in Cafe Engelberg in Lapu-Lapu. And he said, no, we don't live together. He said, what I do is I got my place and I put up in a nice boarding house, a nice boarding house. I think he said he paid $6,000 or $7,000 a month. Even that would work. But we go straight, well, because most men, when we come over here, let's be honest, guys, we want the pussy right next to us. Okay, we don't want it all the way on the other side of the town. When we want it, we want it. And a lot of us, we create the same mess over here that we was running from over there. But no one ever even considers, well, maybe, we can live in certain places. They're the only ones I've ever seen. And this man here. Nobody else even considers that. Now, see, that's ripping up the script. That's tearing up the script. Okay? That's what I mean. We need a new script. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, he says, I would bad things to a woman that's had a 4 or 3, but nothing more than fun. He said, and she better be an 8 and have a repertoire that doesn't repeat any song for the whole weekend. Yeah, it's just, boy, you asking a lot. When you dealing with women here who've been with even one foreigner, man, because, we're different. We're ornery. I wouldn't want to go behind any of you guys, even the closest guys that I've met in the Sunshine Shows community. I don't want to go behind you. Okay, because we're different, man. We're nasty. We're going to ask Filipinos to do things that they would never even think of doing. It's not part of their culture. You want to stick it where? We want to go in the real tailpipe. And they ain't really with that for real. They be like, what? Well, why don't you go out there and get a gay or something like that? They just don't understand. We ask them to do all sorts of stuff, stupid stuff. Oh, okay, you're here. Hey, good luck, man, with that. For real. If you got a good lawyer, you know, they're going to turn you down a few times, Ray Shaw, before they finally give it to you. Then they're going to owe you a nice little chunk of back pay. He said, yeah, I'm 37. He said, but I ain't going to let an MF from the internet send me nowhere. Yeah, you know, it's just some strong words guys be using. You know, can you see somebody on there and see the backdrop and be like, man, I've never been to the Philippines before. I might want to go there. But I'm not going to put everything on what somebody else is saying. Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. Okay, he said true. But a lot of brothers simply want to put themselves in the best position to win. If most of them that are open to foreigners prefer white men, that's not the most ideal position. But how would you even know? This is what I said on the video, the trick Filipinos play on black men. We don't know which Filipinos prefer black men and which ones prefer white men. It's not like they wear a sign on their chest. Okay? And to be honest with you, who cares what they prefer? It's not what they prefer, it's what you prefer. Since you got all the cards, you got the royal flush. See, when we think like this, from Meesville, you're lowering your self-value. All you need is one. You don't need them all. Okay, you don't need them all to like you or to prefer you. Who cares what that they prefer white men? Okay, I think that's just something that's been put out there and people run with it. Because for a long time, you know, let's be honest, their history and the relationship that they had, they see a lot of white men over here. And you can really go to any country and they're going to say, you know, you can say Thai women prefer white men. Vietnamese women prefer white men. Black women prefer white men. You know, even that short I did, they had some people up in arms. I said, even black men prefer white men. You wouldn't be lying. Okay? But you don't know which ones do or which ones. If you put your best foot forward, you can change her mind. But you're never going to know. Okay? But I'm saying come over here and figure it out, guys. Stop listening to these people. Of course, if I'm a white man, okay, I'm in my 60s, I got a pot belly and all that, and I come over here and I get a nice 22-year-old woman, of course that's gonna be my talking point. Oh, they prefer white men. They want a blonde hair, blue-eyed, even though you're never gonna see a blonde hair, blue-eyed Phil Am over here. You'll never see it. It doesn't exist. Okay, I'm sorry. But of course they're gonna say that. And even the ones that don't say it, they're not gonna deny it. But you hear those guys, they make those videos that say, Paul's Asian Adventure said it. Old Dog New Tricks. Every man has a story. He said it. And then they have guests that say it. Okay? If you listen, they're going to say that. I don't care. It's not going to stop me from coming to the Philippines, man. What they're saying. If you know your worth and your value, you don't worry about that. No matter where I go, I'm going to get what I'm looking for. I got that much confidence in myself. If you prefer white men, I'm going to change your mind. But a lot of women, they've been told that. They've been conditioned that. And then when they meet the white man, it's like God saying what I thought it was going to be. He's not rich. Okay? Or whatever it is. So don't worry about that stuff, guys. That's why I make videos like that. You should be asking black men, you know, do they prefer Filipinos? Because we can go anywhere we want. We can travel anywhere we want to try to find a woman. They can't. We got money. We got education. We got it all. So why is it always the black men, the Filipinos like black men? How many videos have you seen? Stupid videos like that. It's never, oh, the Filipinos like Chinese men or Korean men. I did a video like that to put it in plain English. You should be asking us. Very few black men come over here because we got other choices. My man is just in Cartagena, Colombia, Brazil, Vietnam, Thailand. We're everywhere. Okay? We got so many options. So you should be asking black men that question. But that's such a old, it's so old, a tar. Who gives a damn? Guys, don't let that stuff. Man, if you let that kind of stuff get in your way, you're never going to win. I'll make them change their mind. All I need is one anyway. You know, you can come over here, believe it or not. The guys who's talking about they like Afro Colombian women, right? You can come over here and get some blazing women over here. Some of them are moving back to the Philippines from America. That'll blow your mind. If that's what you prefer. So if you got a preference, why can't Filipinos have a preference? Some of them, the ones that do. But the overwhelming majority of Filipinos prefer Filipino men. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they're just gonna fit you, man. I don't give a damn what. I'm gonna tell you the very first time, this is no lie, man. Right before I came to the Philippines, probably the day or two before, I'm already at that time we had chat rooms. And they were chatting, and then the question came up. Do Filipinos like black men? Well, the Filipina answered, yeah, we love black men. They're passionate. They treat us like queens. They put us on a pedestal. If she would have said something else, I probably wouldn't have come here. But she didn't. You know, but it never really crossed my mind, guys. I've never went to a place worrying about whether somebody preferred, somebody else over me. Hey, thank you, C. Jones, for that super chat. He said, Cal, wishing you a happy birthday, man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. But you can't travel. That's the whole, if the very first thing that comes out of a foreigner's, of YouTuber's mouth, if that's in your thinking, if that determines where you're going to travel, man, don't travel. Whether women prefer black men or white men or whatever, man. Don't let that be. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay? When you're doing business. Okay, and all of that. Okay? You want their validation. Oh, look, I'm wearing Tommy Hilfiger. And all the rest of the shit we do. Let's just be honest about it. If you're really truthful about it, even black men prefer white men. What did they say? What? That the white man's ice is cold and his sugar sweeter. That's how you've been conditioned. Oh, I want to work at Ford Motor Company. It's obvious in the money you spend, Frank. Now, I didn't make a mistake. I'm telling you the truth. You spend very little money with black businesses. Okay? Come on, man. That's an old story. You spend most of your money with the white man. Yeah, this is facts right here. So why are we even worried about this? All it takes is one. Put your best foot forward. You ain't got that to worry about. My mother told me, man, when I was 7 or 8 years old, the least you have to worry about is a woman. That's the least thing you got to worry about. You're going to have a woman under the worst circumstances. But if you put your best foot forward, you ain't got to worry about that. Who prefers who? That's not going to be, that's not going to influence my decision to go anywhere. Because hell, where are we preferred? Really? Hell, if you listen to even the bloggers in Africa, they say that the Africans prefer white men. Well, hell, where can black men go where we prefer it? Make yourself preferred. He said only jackasses with low or no confidence worry about which race the women here prefer. Yeah, it never crossed my mind. If you have confidence, swag, riz, men and women will come your way when you walk in the room. That's always been the case. Well, if you listen to guys, you won't think that Africans prefer black men. Listen to those guys in Kenya. I prefer me. Black women are the only women, black American women are going to be the only women who are going to prefer black men. If that's what you're worried about, then go get you a black American woman, black man, if you're worried about being preferred. Otherwise, man, go on with that foolishness. If that's what you go to sleep at night worrying about, then marry you a black woman. Because black women are number 2 behind Filipinos. I think Filipinos are 95% of married Filipinos are married to a Filipino spouse. I think it's 92% for black American women who are married. Their spouse is black. Okay? Yeah, they're going to want they're going to want a decent man, is what they want. I never talk about it. You can see it's obvious with me. Okay, I've never balled it up. I've never made a video about that. It's obvious. I've never had any problem. I'm a black man. I'm a brown skinned man. You know, my label is a black American man. I've never had a problem here. Okay, it's never been, I never even thought it would be a problem. I just wasn't brought up like that. I'm not cut from that cloth, man. That's weak to me. That's why I said we in this era, man, now men are so weak now. You should make women prefer you. Ain't nobody gonna turn you down if you got everything going on. Your business wise, your social wise, personality, you're healthy. You got money in the bank. What woman in her right mind is going, oh no, he's brown. I'm gonna go with this white guy over here who's broke. No, I'm talking about Filipinos, period. Okay? But that's a small percentage of No, I'm not saying statistics are weak. See, what you're failing to do, and because I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you. Okay, cognitive dissonance and, whatever you want to, your reality is your reality. Check to see what percentage of marriages in America are between uh, Filipino women and white men. A very small percentage of marriages over there. First of all, Aaron, okay, I'm telling you that black women, black American women prefer black American men. Filipino women prefer Filipino men. White women prefer white men. Chinese women prefer Chinese men. Go on with your foolishness, man. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that's basics. Okay? That's anywhere that you, okay, anywhere you go, they're going to prefer their own. So you're not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to let anybody influence where I'm going. I'm going to make that decision. I just made the video. Stop following the followers. You're going to stop going to a place, Aaron, because somebody said, oh, Filipinos prefer white men. What's that got to do with you? Are you less than a white man? Is that what you're saying? You can't get it done? Come on, man. Everybody does prefer their own. Before I even thought about Filipino women, Cuban women, white women, I was dreaming about black women. And that's who Filipinos dream about when they go to bed at night. They don't dream about white men. They don't dream about you. All you gotta do is come over here. There's got people like Coco Martin, Daniel Padilla, and just the regular guys on the street who look like matinee idols, dude. They look a whole lot better than us. Okay? They got everything in common with the woman. They laugh at the same jokes. They eat the same foods. They eat the same way. They don't want you. Some of them do. They prefer a Filipino man. I don't know where y'all get that off. Yeah, because she's ignorant. Some of them do, but that's not all of them. I'm telling you that one story. I did say that. See, this is what you guys, man, y'all play this got you stuff. I'm telling you that didn't stop him. He's got a better woman now than her. The point I was trying to make is some of these women are ignorant over here. Why would you pass up a highly educated, highly successful, multi-millionaire black man and end up going with a white guy? You must not watch the whole video. Because guess what? A black man ended up saving her, taking her to America. Okay? So stop with this got you stuff. That woman was ignorant. This man got a better looking woman. A woman was single with no children. And they've been together ever since. Okay? That's the rest of that story. Yeah, she went to that white man. She said, I want this white man who's still working in America, still, chasing the American dream. But guess what? He didn't want her. He used her and threw her in the garbage. So guess what? She get back on the dating site and end up meeting a black man. She end up marrying the black man. She's in America with him right now. But they like you guys right here. Y'all don't listen. So what? He's ended up with a woman. He done married a woman who's already been with two foreigners that I know of. Okay? Yeah, they always use a single case. I was making the case that the woman was stupid. Okay, I'm dealing with an algorithm, guys. Y'all don't understand that. I'm dealing with algorithms, so I put on there, she would rather be broke than date a black man. This was her mentality. Okay? She told Merlin that. I want a white man. Because we put her right in front of a black man who's a multi-millionaire. Who could have changed her grandkids' future. But no, she wanted a white man. Okay, well here's a white man. But he don't want you. But you ain't used no stats. You ain't use no stats, man. White women prefer white men. That knocks your argument out. Okay? You're talking about a whole different argument. You're talking about when they get in America. You're in America. You're in a whole different situation, Aaron. You're not in the Philippines. They're in America. And when you base the marriages of Filipinos and white men versus white women and white men, it's not even going to register on the radar. You ain't made no point, man. I'm telling you that if you traveling around here worried about what women prefer you or not, man, you're going to have a miserable life. You're going to miss out on everything. Yeah. He ain't got no sources. Because if he goes to the census, it's gonna reflect what I said. A very small percentage of white men married Filipinas of all marriages in America among white men. A very small percentage of them marry Filipino women. They marry white women. That's who they want. He's trying to make a whole different argument. That's all. You already know, Paul. You've been over here. These guys don't live here. They just going off by what people say. I'm telling you from boots on the ground experience. As a brown man over here. A black man. Okay? I've never had a problem. Nowhere I've ever been with women. Okay? So y'all can, all those statistics and all of that. No, you brought it up. You brought it up. You're saying, oh, we won't. You're the one was talking about, and this is the last thing I'm going to say with you because you're taking up too much of my time. You're getting me off a script. But you're the one who said, no, black men just want a better outcome. So they want to know, why would they come over if they know that the majority of Filipinos prefer a white man? What difference does it make? Okay? What difference does it make? That's all. Put your big boy pants on. With attitude like that, a black woman ain't gonna want you. I've had my share of black women. Yeah, how old was I when I started coming to the Philippines? I was 45 years old. I'd been married for 18 years, 16 years. The last 2 years didn't count to a black woman. No, there's nowhere written. There are nowhere is it written that says I have to date black women. I can date whoever I want to. Okay? Yeah, he's not even over here. Raymond. It's just guys, they come in they play this got you stuff. Now I haven't heard any more back from the guy who says, oh, I thought you said she would rather date a black guy. Y'all just looking at the titles. I'm dealing with an algorithm. I gotta make the title, which I didn't lie, I talked about that, but I've got to make the title for you to click on it. It's all clickbait on YouTube. We all want these titles to jump out to make you want to click on it. Okay. But that was the story. She would rather be broke than date a black man. That was her situation. But the other Filipino came around and said, sure, I'll date this multimillionaire who's not only, he's changed her life in so many ways that I can't even count. The first thing he did was She was homeless. Now she's sitting in a 6-bedroom, 6-bath house here in San Carlos City, built on 3 lots, because she wasn't stupid like that. Okay? Like, damn. And built her mother a house. And Lord knows what else he did, because she's not stupid. That woman was stupid and ended up marrying a black man anyway. You can't make that up. Okay? But it's just like Chang said, it's all about survival. That's why me and my woman got together initially, because she told me that. It's about survival. I want some help raising my kids. I'm tired. Marilyn was doing it all herself. She's the only woman that ever told me that. None of these other women ever told me that. It's always, I'm tired of Filipino men. And it makes y'all feel better. Yeah, she prefers me. Now she prefers your money. And that new lifestyle you're going to give her. The new country, the new name. It's a whole new life. You can do for her what her creator can't even do. What her God can't even do. She prays every night and nothing happens. You come along and you change it overnight. Hey, take care, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. There's no hard feelings on here, man. We wish you the best. I'm glad you decided to stay in Cebu. Are you going to China now? I don't get it. Let's get off of that subject. If you guys worrying about whether a woman, I feel sorry for you. You've lost already. Okay? Because I told you, only women prefer you as a black man is black women. Okay? All that other stuff, man, it's out the window. I've been known to change their mind. Okay? I'm holding all the cards anyway. Who cares what they prefer? They ain't in no position to make no demands. This is the problem with you weak ass men. You let women who have nothing at all run the show. That's the problem right there. Hey, tell Peach I said hello. Yeah. That's what my whole vlog was about. You should be asking us who we prefer. He said, speaking facts, that blue passport brings access to wealth, travel, and level up. Yeah. I'm not going to limit myself. If I'm broke and I'm struggling and I can't find no other way to escape that than to get on the dating site, then I'm just looking for a good man. I don't give a damn what color he is. Does he got what it takes to get me out of my funky situation? It's only the ignorant ones who think like that. And who wants to deal with an ignorant woman? I don't. Yeah, he says, I think women only care if you're a foreigner or not. The racism here in field is not real. They say words without the meaning behind it. Foreigners are foreigners, Filipinos. I know that to be the case. They all put us in the same basket. But you got guys who are worried about that. You know, their self-esteem is so low, they want to guarantee that when I come over there, the women are going to be you know, what it might think. The guy from Canada, he's a white guy. He said that the vloggers told him that women were going to be laying flowers at his feet. He really believed that. It never happened. He went home without ever really meeting and making a connection. He ended up with basically a bar girl. But this is what I say all the time. We bring the Matrix with us over here. This is what the problem is. We bring the Matrix over here with us. That's all. But when you got low self-esteem, you want the guarantee. Now, they claim that they love black women, but they don't know. This is a Filipina Southeast Asian vlog. Somebody's lying. I'd be looking at Razor Rays or one of them channels that, Austin Holloman, those guys who travel to those African countries. I wouldn't be on my live stream because we're going to talk about women in Southeast Asia, whether you like it or not. Yeah, but all racism is ignorant anyway. All racism is ignorant. He says, I don't know, I've heard some really richly stuff coming from their mouths about dark people. Yeah, but it's ignorance. I bet if they dying and they need a damn blood transfusion, they're not going to worry about what color somebody is. And a lot of times it's people's indoctrination and their upbringing. When every time you turn on the TV, you see white people presenting the news, white people running the world, you're gonna get that in your mind that there's something about this. Maybe white people are better. And then reality sets in. And you start living around white people, going to school with them, working with them, and you realize they're no different than anybody else. This is all made up bullshit. That's all. You better have your shit together. That's what Nancy Curl Roach said. If you got your shit together, it ain't gonna matter. He said dating a Chinese woman is a good investment. China will be the world's leading superpower in the next 15 years. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be that soon. Because Trump and his people are going to be out. And the people in their right state of mind are going to get back in there. Yeah, it was Mike from Canada. And you got to realize that guy, Mike from Canada, was no joke. I mean, he's an accountant with a big-time tax business. He was earning a triple-double. He was earning over $200,000 a year. He had big money. When he came here, his condo, imagine living in Cebu. You're paying, $2,500 a month for a condo in Cebu. Well, you could easily get one for $400 or $500. I know, Raymond. I thought about that. He says, I've dated every color and ethnicity. The best thing about being in the Philippines, the women know men are prized, as women in the West have lost that, as they sit there broke and damaged, making demands of men they deserve. And see, this is what's happening over here. They talk about, Filipinos have changed because we're changing them. We have a lot to do with that. She don't have to travel to the West to be changed. You change her the minute she starts dealing with you and living with you and everything like that. But we're changing them. We're putting so much power into the hands of these women. And a lot of them don't know how to handle it. And the ones that do, they take advantage. Of course, it's artificial. But yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all for all your super chats, all your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders, man. Certainly your happy birthday wishes, man. We're going to have shrimp and fish, man. I ate so much chicken in Manila. I said I don't want any more chicken. So yeah, Marilyn's in there preparing. That's all I'm going to do. I told Marilyn to make some of her famous macaroni salad. I'll probably go get a cake. And then I'm going to spend the rest of my day helping people over here, man. We got 5,000 more pesos worth of free gasoline to give out. And then I got 2 more people. I'm giving the first 5 people who say happy birthday, Sunshine Shoulders, 500 pesos each. We'll end up giving away about 15,000 a day. You know. He said it's self-hatred. Exactly, Cal. They have colorism here in the Philippines. They bullied my lady here because she is a Moreno here in the province. Colonized man said it's alive here too. Yes, I'll learn behavior. And then after a while, once you have access to other people, man, you'll realize it's all foolishness. I used to think the same way, man, until I started going to school with white children in the 6th grade, and they was no different. They listened to different music and different things like that, but they were no different. They were no smarter than me or anything like that. And that's when my whole view on race changed. You know, that's why I don't like to hear about racism, because I know it's made up. It's foolishness. Okay, it's indoctrination, it's propaganda. That's all. I mean, ain't no hard feelings, brother. I mean that. You know, it's just that I'm 63 today, man. I've been dealing with this stuff my whole life. And when I hear anything about race and stuff like that, man, it's all foolishness. If somebody wants to prefer a certain, okay, good. It's going to be your loss, lady. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be your loss. That lady lost. Okay? Here she has a man right in front of her who's going to take care of her and her kids. Okay? She didn't want him. So guess what? The next one stepped up and said, I'm not that stupid. A multimillionaire? Highly educated, a good man? You're never going to go on that dating site. It'll take you 1,000,000 years to meet a man like that. This woman's like, okay, I know a good man when I see it. Thank you. Got a diamond ring standing this high. And everything else that goes along with that. Okay? Hey, Hal, thanks for that super sticker, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I'm going to get off here because I got to go to the bank. Yesterday I went to the bank. It was Ramadan. So it was closed yesterday. But I gave y'all a little extra time today because it's been 2 weeks almost since I had a live stream. I like going back and forth. It makes my day, man. I don't get to talk to foreigners every day. You know what I'm saying? That's why those meet and greets, guys, wherever meet and greets are, man, and if you can attend. I met some great guys that I never met before. Craig, fine. I met him. David, David. I met a brother. He was from, I think he was from North Carolina. Yeah. No, he was from Mississippi. This guy was built. He was 60 years old, but retired Air Force. I mean, I just met some great guys, man. Hey, what's up, Sam McCopper? Guy, yeah, you are in Hong Kong. When you coming back? You said that. Yeah, I interviewed Mad Max. I think he just got monetized too. You know, we need more vloggers, really. We need more people's perspectives. I give my respect to vloggers because, it takes a lot to do that. It's not easy. A lot of us make it look easy, but it's not. And any information they got, remember, it's like a smorgasbord. You take what you like and you leave the rest. The stuff you can relate to, the stuff that's going to help you, yeah, you take that, you put that in your backpack and you keep it moving. But to say we mislead you or we're wrong and we're not telling the truth and all that, no, guys, you got to come over here before you ever going to figure this out, man. There's no way you can figure the Philippines out sitting at home on your couch watching these vlogs. There's too much going on over here. I'm telling you, man, I've been in the Philippines on and off over 17 years, almost 8 years in a row this time. I never ventured up into Metro Manila. Man, I was shocked. I didn't know all that was up there. Imagine that. So imagine you at home trying to figure shit out. You see what I'm saying? I just wrote Metro Manila off because I'm like, I don't want all that traffic. We didn't even run into the traffic. They got that expressway up there. They call it the LXEX. They got the Skyway too. But yeah, I didn't know what I didn't know, That's why I never talk about it. But now I'm going to start talking about it more because I'm going to get me a place up there. We're going to spend more time in Metro Manila. And he sent me Eric, the one who invited us up there. He lives in that complex, East Bay. He sent me a link. A guy's selling his condo up there for $2.3 million, which is right now, man, that's about $50,000 in that place. I mean, that's really low, guys. You start going down closer to that city, you'll be like, what in the world? Why would I pay $250,000 for a condominium in the Philippines? But $50,000 is more like it. But take care, y'all.